monologue show, and then, you know, we might do a little jaywalking, probably do an interview that seemed like there was somebody with cue cards with the questions on them at the side of the stage. And I bet if Jay had his way, it's like, let's wrap it up with a monologue to end the show. But it was a good monologue. It was probably one of the better.
I liked all those funny headlines or whatever.
Oh, that was the other. Yeah, that's the other bit he did.
Yeah, that was
right.
Funny.
Headlines.
Yeah,
he's like, it's kind of like a monologue, but I'm sitting down.
Yeah,
and it's not as topical. Yeah, I mean, I always liked it. It was just always funny to me. And then any like book you read about, you know, the late night wars or the different late night hosts, he was just obsessed with that monologue. Like he would just spend all of his time.
I think that makes sense.
Going through the monologue jokes. And it does, right? Because he's the one, even though most of them come from some form of stand-up, Jay's really the only one that is like, no. I'm going to actively perform stand-up.
Yeah, he continued
throughout.
to do it.
I'm gonna get on my plane, like, tell me when I have to be at work, because when I'm not at work, I'm going to be hitting every casino. I'm going to be everywhere doing stand-up and just banking money.
So it makes sense to me that he would consider that to be like
the highest art form.
Yes.
Whereas, like, you know, I think Jimmy Fallon, I guess, comes from more of the improv background.
Right.
So to him, it's like whatever Lauren says. And then...
whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. And Dave's more of an avant-garde performer, I think.
Letterman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or always was, I should say. He still kind of is, in the sense that I don't think anybody would have expected him to grow a giant beard and just sit on stage interviewing people. But that's the difference. Like, I don't think Jay ever particularly liked interviewing people, whereas Dave, he always turned the interview into something. And I mean, you know, people try to dig him up now and go, he was mean. And you're like, yeah, well, that was the show.
He was really mean.
That's
why it was funny.
It was kind of known, like Dave was kind of a mean guy.
He wasn't afraid to say something shitty.
Right, he was a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
And no matter who came in, he was going to be a curmudgeon. So,
I thought it was great. That's what made him so endearing.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great. I feel bad for people now that are like, yeah, I'm a stand-up and I'd like to be the host of The Tonight Show one day. I'm like, that's over, dude. What are you talking about? That dream is done. You should want to be like Theo Vaughn one day or something, because that's it. That's all that's left. If you want that, maybe, but probably not. Kind of feels like the podcast, you know, bubble is there. Like, I wouldn't say it's burst, but it's established.
Yes.
You know, I don't know that there's another.
There's not
another
lot of
wave.
new people coming in.
Right.
Like,
right. I'd you know what I'd do? I'd find a nice niche and just kind of
sit in it.
Hit that niche, sit in the pocket, talk to your people, and have a great time. You know, don't worry about all that other stuff. Do some crowd work or something. I don't know what to tell you.
I think that's burned out.
Oh, so burned out. Even comics don't like crowd work anymore. It's like, we did it. We've done it. Okay? We know that you can ask audience members what their job is. Like, that's it.
I think when a comic comes out with a crowd work special now, it's like, hey, we're doing crowd. It's like, oh
my
why?
God.
Why are you doing that?
You know what's going to be great? And I think this is the next wave of stand-up, is that they're going to go back to, like, really focusing on writing jokes. And then they're going to get on stage and perform the jokes, and the jokes will be funny. And that will be where stand-up goes. Shane Gillis has been trying it, and it seems like it's been working, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm not a soothsayer. I'm not a fortune teller. But I could see it go. I could see it going in that direction, where they go, what if we focused energy on writing all the jokes and then doing them on stage? I think it could be great and kind of revolutionary.
I think that's a great prediction.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. But you never know where things are going. I was walking in this morning, and like two big, like, you know, not armored cars, but big, like, SUVs with police lights on them. Police escort, but also they had police lights on the SUVs pulled up in front of Fox News, so it becomes a big to-do. You know who got out of the back?
Who?
Sean from The Real World.
Oh, right.
It was sick.
Doesn't he have a new government job?
I don't know. But Sean from the...
Anytime I see him in the news, I'm like, I know, that guy is from The Real World.
Sean from The Real World got out of the car.
What about Puck?
And I was, I said, where's Pedro? And they said, unfortunately. I said, I hadn't heard. I'm sorry.
No longer with us.
I hadn't heard. I didn't know. I shouldn't have asked. But, yeah, Sean from The Real World got out going to Fox News. And it really was, because it was like two...
I wish I knew he was in town.
I know. I would love to have him up here.
He's talking about The Real World.
Yeah, I want to know what happened. I go, what happened with Julie? And he's like, what? I'm married to her. We were just on Fox together. Like, what do you mean, what happened? Are you No, I haven't watched since The Real World. I don't know. But these two, like, big SUVs pull up. And they both have the police lights on them. And I'm assuming there's two of them because that's the security measure that they do for high-ranking political people.
Okay.
They have two, so you don't know which one the political figure is in. I would assume because nobody got out of the other one. But it was like, I mean, talking about just the worst timing. He's getting out of the car, and he's not in the building yet. And one of the SUVs pulls out. And I guess must have run over, like, a bag of chips or something like that. Because you just heard, pop! And everybody turned around like, oh, no! Oh, no! Oh. It was just something popping on the ground. But it really was like, that's the life that all those guys lead. Like, any moment, those sounds go off, and it seems very stressful. Even for that moment for me, it was very, very stressful.
I mean, that's just New York City.
It is.
I'm riding down the street on my bike, and somebody hits a bag of chips or a like a can of soda. Pop!
Yeah.
It's like, are we being shot at?
And sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's you're being shot at.
Yeah.
And that just happens sometimes. Or it's like, oh, no, that was just a homeless man breaking a window with a lead pipe for no reason. That's fine. I'll just keep driving. I'll keep riding to work.
But Sean from The Real World was okay?
He was okay, thank God.
All right, good.
And he was going in to, I guess, like, kind of give his take on reality TV, I would assume.
Was Cyrus there?
Yeah, Cyrus was with him.
Nice.
I think they were promoting, like, a new, maybe, season of The Challenge. I don't know for sure exactly what they were doing, but, yeah, it is. I mean, we were talking about Theo yesterday because Theo was doing his podcast with Ben Affleck. But to see, like, I'm watching wrestling. There's The Miz. I'm watching, like, Fox. There's Sean and Rachel from The Real World, like, being political people. We're watching, like, who's the top podcaster? Theo from The Real World, from Road Rules. Yeah. Like, that whole era, it is kind of striking how many serious, famous people came off of that whole run of The Real World and Road Rules.
We work with the great Heather B.
Heather B. She's on billboards in L.A. now with Sway because and that's what she's known for. She, like, came off of The Real World. That was season 1.
Yeah.
She came off of The Real World and, like, established herself.
She was a rapper.
In hip-hop and in the music industry, and now has been for years, Sway's full-time co-host.
Nothing for Irene, though.
Irene went into private life.
What happened to Julie? I loved Julie.
Which Julie?
From the first season.
Downtown Julie Brown?
Season. No. Wasn't that Julie? What was the wholesome girl?
No, she wasn't from the first season.
Wholesome Julie?
Julie from New Orleans?
No, that was way later. There must have been, that was like, by New Orleans, I think Troy had aged out of The Real World.
That's the Julie I know.
Yeah, that was like season...
And she's a piece of shit.
That was like season 8 or 9 or something like that. You're looking at season 1?
Julie Gentry.
Julie Gentry?
Yeah.
Let's see Julie Gentry. I'll tell you what she's doing. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
OG Julie.
She's from New York. Yeah.
Yeah, Julie Gentry is running a community garden and raising 2 kids. So, see?
I feel like that's what...
She's running a community garden. A lot of people are like, hey... Who's that running? Is that Julie from The Real World running this community garden?
I had such a crush on her.
You did?
I really did, yeah.
You like the wholesome girl?
She was very wholesome, but she was, like, fun. And she was very flirty with Eric.
Okay, now...
By the way,
I understand.
Whatever happened to Eric Nies?
I mean, we know. Well, I'd love to know where he is now.
You liked her because you were living vicariously through her. You're like, flirt with Eric again.
Yeah.
Poor
That's
Eric
right.
when that reunion happened and he couldn't...
Bro, they did. So when Paramount Plus first launched, one of the big things was, hey, we're going to do a Real World Season 1 reunion. We're going to lock everybody back in that apartment for, I think it was like 4 days or something like that. It was
they all got jobs.
Yeah, most of these people are like, no, we have full things that we have going on. We're not going to do that. But they locked him in the original apartment for like 4 days. And it was like height of the pandemic. And so they had to put everybody through screening and everything. And they basically said, look, we're going to screen you guys and then you'll quarantine in the apartment. So there really was no leaving. Except at the last minute, Eric Nies popped positive for COVID. And so he had to do the whole reunion season, which was like 6 episodes. he had to do it on Zoom. So like the cast would get together. They do activities in the house. You know, they always plan activities.
You're like, what are you guys doing over there?
Because they only had him for 4 days. Like back in the day, they were just like, we're going to move you into this apartment for 8 months and we're just going to film everything. This one, we can get you for 4 days. So we're going to plan scavenger hunts and shit. So they had him for, you know, doing all their activities. And then at the end of the evening, they would all get together and have their powwows in the living room. And they'd throw Eric up on Zoom. He was stuck, but he still had to. He got popped literally right before they were going to start shooting.
I mean,
so
right when he was going to go into that apartment building.
He was stuck in a hotel in New York. So he's just sitting there in the same city in a hotel in New York by himself. Can't leave because it's the height of the pandemic, and everybody's like, no. You basically got to go to jail if you pop positive. So he's got to.
This is what he did the whole time.
Yeah, he's got to sit there. You know, on his velvet couch.
Looks good, though.
All day.
Still handsome. Wow.
Right? He aged well.
I mean,
And that's him with COVID. Imagine him, like, healthy. But he had to sit there all day long, just waiting for them to be like, when's the powwow happening? When's the living room meeting happening?
Yeah, I felt bad for him.
And then they turn it on and be like, oh, hey, Eric, remember the real world? He'd be like, oh, yeah. No, I was thinking about it a lot because I've just been sitting here in this hotel room all day long. I can't do anything else. They're like, okay. Anyway, we're going to turn off the Zoom now and do other activities.
Yeah, Julie was a part of it.
Yeah.
Did you watch this?
I didn't.
You should. Just to see what Julie's up to.
It's...
Okay, we should.
You know Heather B. She's the best one.
This one wasn't
Heather B
good.
is the best one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the New Orleans homecoming.
Right.
You really found out that Julie was a piece of shit.
You hate Julie. You have a grudge.
piece of shit.
I got to see who this Julia. Which one are you talking? Julie season 2?
No, he's talking about like season... Travis is getting all the way up to like season 8. He's got an axe to grind with Julie.
You didn't like New Orleans.
No, I love New Orleans.
Tokyo.
It's just... I don't know. Oh, I forgot his name is Tokyo now.
Yeah.
His name was David before.
I don't know who that is. You're
Dee
dead
ba ba
name.
dee ba boo dee.
That's what I'm saying. That was a great season.
Dee ba ba bee ba boo bee. Come on, be my baby tonight.
That was a good reunion.
I mean, it was a good season. It was a good reunion. It was great when Chappelle had David, a.k.a. Tokyo, on the show. It was, yeah, the whole thing was great. Yeah.
That was a good one.
But, yeah, that's like a generation removed from season 1 almost. That was when they really had it honed in on what this show was, as opposed to let's just try it.
Oh,
let's just throw together reality TV. Yeah, there's there's like... I remember a lot of season 1.
So, yeah, that was season 9.
And then I don't know if it was season 2 or season 3, but I would never forget. The only thing I remember is like David from Boston screaming in his car because he fell in love with one of the producers. And they fired the producer and they left him mic'd up even though they were like in the car trying to get away from everybody. And just in his Boston accent going, I fucking love you, okay? And I was like, come on, dude.
Oh, that was Seattle. Was that Seattle?
What, Boston David?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
I don't know.
This guy?
No.
No?
No, let me see. No. Maybe it was. No, in the corner.
Yeah.
Corner pocket. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. He loved that producer from The Real World, but they fired her because you're not allowed to fuck the castmates.
That's weird.
I know. It's like it's The Real World. Now all of a sudden we're being polite. I thought we were trying to get real here. I love that. Sean Duffy's down there trying to be like, you know what we're going to do to change the world? I'm like, I don't know about that.
Stop
How about
being real?
Yeah, I know. How about the real world? Let's talk about that. What season was Sean on? Season 2 or season 3?
He was on 6, I think.
What?
Boston was 6.
Wow. They started racking them up. They all start blending together.
Montana and Genesis.
Oh, yeah.
Cyrus. This is a good season.
That was a great season. That's when they started hiring all hot people.
Yeah, it was just, let's see
Just
if
like-
these people will fuck.
Right. Like, let's get all gorgeous people on the show now. Because we had Eric Nies.
And that sent everybody into a tailspin.
Well,
I don't know.
I know one in particular. I know one young man who started, like, questioning everything.
Well, because they put him on the grind then, and you're like,
No, I don't remember.
I remember the grind. But he was gorgeous.
yes.
And then most of the other people were like, nobody was hideous or anything, but a lot of them were people who you could see in the real world. Like,
Yeah.
normal looking, like cute people.
Yes. Julie from the season 1.
You liked her.
She was very wholesome.
Yeah. Once they got into like season 6,
Yeah,
that's
in
when it
season
was
2,
like,
they were still casting ugly people.
yeah, season 2 was a little more like, let's grab every stereotype we can find. Like, let's find the hip hop guy with the backwards hat and the country guy with the cowboy hat, and like, let's really start putting this together. I think, season 3 was when Pedro and Puck showed up, and that's when it was like, okay, let's play into these kind of, because you didn't have a lot of gay people on television back then,
No.
especially like,
And he was world famous.
Yeah. It was a huge thing that was a regular part of the show. And then
Then we get to London, and it's all pretty people.
yeah, and it only got more and more gorgeous. And then they realized, like, if we can just get them to hook up as much as possible, people will watch. And that's true. That's what I was watching for, the hookups.
You were watching for the hookup?
Yeah, I feel like, they figured out their formula.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's throw Irene in there to really throw a monkey wrench into everybody's plans. But yeah, so shout out to Sean.
Well, Ruthie was such an alcoholic.
Well, Ruthie, she liked to have a good time. It's the real world, for God's sake. Let's party.
Yeah.
And now Sean's like, can we not talk about the real world? I'm like, no. That's
absolutely not.
I will not accept those terms.
That's actually all I wanted to
I want to know what you guys are up to. But yeah, so look, better than where some politicians are at right now. Word came down. George Santos has been sentenced, and this feels like a lot, but I don't know, 7 years in prison for old George Santos. And I feel like, look, this is just a guy trying to run for public office, trying to have a good time. He's not Jewish, but he's Jewish.
He's Jewish.
Likes cupcakes.
Loves cupcakes.
Yeah, and then he tried to, I appreciate, he brought cupcakes for the press. Yep. George Santos's run was legendary because he wasn't there for a long time, but he was there for a good time. Every day, just getting to witness that. Getting to witness every day somebody showing up for work and the hallways of their place of business just fills up with reporters shouting, why won't you quit? Why don't you just quit? You should quit your job. You suck at this. Would you just quit? Resign, please. Can you quit? Like, that would do such a number to my self-esteem. If it, like, at the end of every show. That's why I don't open Twitter, because that's what it feels like. I had a line of people. It's like, what is it, the Jennifer Hudson show, or one of the shows where they have that dance line?
Dance through the line.
Yeah. That's Jennifer Hudson show?
I think so, yeah.
Right. Like, imagine.
Still doing dancing?
The dance line.
You don't know that?
No.
Come on, bro.
That's the thing, it's all over the internet.
Oh, yeah. What they do is they have.
Ellen danced.
No, not Ellen. We don't do Ellen stuff. She was a mean person.
Another daytime show that's dancing?
No. It's a totally different thing. They have the whole staff backstage. They have the whole staff line up on each side of the wall.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, and then the guest has to dance.
Yeah,
along with the people.
That's
See, and some of them are a little bit subtle.
Why don't we do that?
Like Michelle Obama. Well, there's only like 3 of us. It would be a very short line.
No, it would be great.
Some of them are very subtle, like Michelle Obama, and then, believe it or not, when Bert Kreischer did the show.
Oh, right.
He made a whole display of it. He took his shirt off. He did the caterpillar. Oh, yes, he did. He decided to take his shirt off. First of all, looking up Bert dance on Twitter, ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it. Yeah, he took his shirt off. He started doing the worm. He started doing the caterpillar. He started twerking. I thought he was gonna have a heart attack. I said, Bert.
I did see this, yeah.
Yeah, and listen, you can pop the sound on.
Hang on.
Okay. Yeah, this is what they do for every guest, and I've thought about, if I were to be a guest on the Jennifer Hudson program, because we're about there, because I wouldn't want to do this.
Why? You're a good dancer.
There's no fucking way I would want. Does this, Troy? You how long have you known me for?
Almost 20 years.
Can you picture me wanting to do this in any way, shape, or form?
I don't even know what would have to happen for you to even consider doing that.
There's no way. There's no way I would do this. But I wouldn't want to be a no fun guy either.
Right.
But I think I would just choose the no fun guy. Because I haven't seen one of these where I go, you know what, this is endearing. And I like some of the people doing it. I like Bert. But like, I don't want to see Bert dancing with the staff. I don't want to see Teddy Swims. I don't want to see Penn Bakley dancing with the staff. It feels like
None of them want to do it.
no, because it's dehumanizing, is what it is. It's like I thought we were just going to do an interview. Like I thought.
I wonder if it's affecting the guests that she gets.
Yeah, because I want to talk about my project. I don't want to dance for the staff. I don't. That's weird. And also this feigned idea of, well, we're doing this because we're all like, this is something that you do with like when all the girlfriends are going on a trip together, and it's your friends from high school, and it's a reunion, and you have that level of familiarity,
Right.
That you're that comfortable and your whole guard is down. Not, I'm here for an hour. I'm on a full day of press, and I don't know what show I have next. But sure, I'll dance with the staff that I just met. I wouldn't want to do it.
People love dancing, though. They love it on the internet.
They do they love to watch
They
dancing.
love watching dancing.
And I don't understand. And it doesn't have to be good.
No, it could be terrible.
Ask Katy Perry.
Well, I think people are watching that for the wrong reason.
Oh, my bad. I can never figure that out. But look at Bert having a dance for himself. And Bert commits. God bless him.
Of course he does.
He commits to everything.
When it's getting hot in here.
Oh, they sing?
They sing it. And he's taking the shirt off. Hit pause for a second.
Like, I'm not surprised that he's doing
But
it.
also, like, I'd be like, I know I'm the take my shirt off guy. I'm not taking my shirt off for everyone.
But he does.
Like, I'll take my shirt off for Jennifer when I get out there. If Jennifer, she's a dream girl. If Jennifer wants to see me with my shirt off, I'll pop my shirt off for the show. But I can't pop my shirt off for the backstage vignette. I can't pop my shirt off for the social media thing. Now, look, the other argument is there's probably a lot more people who see the social media dance than see the actual show, which is not a shot at the show. Like, you just have more eyeballs on social media now than you do on television shows.
I didn't know this was a show.
Jennifer Hudson show?
You didn't know that they did this dance.
No.
Oh, yeah, I see
This
this
is like everywhere.
everywhere, bro.
It's not in my algo.
Michelle-
And I'm happy about that.
You're lucky. Michelle Obama, that was a big one.
Yeah,
Brenda Song, that was a huge one.
I saw Brenda Song doing it. You've seen Bert doing it. This has been a big
Yeah,
one.
of course.
I did see this. But that's probably because, he collabed on the video. So
Right.
I
You follow him. Yeah. Yeah, keep watching him dance.
I guess.
He goes wild. He's twerking. I mean, he's taking his belt off. Bert's getting awfully close. I don't know if he knows what workplace environments are like these days. I feel like Bert might forget it's not the 90s. Okay, now he's like, don't you worry he's going to have a heart attack?
No, he's in shape now.
Yeah, he's in A shape.
Wow.
I mean, look at him.
Bert.
He doesn't look winded.
No.
He doesn't. He looks amazing.
He works out now.
I mean,
Stop shitting on Bert.
I'm not shitting on Bert.
Yes,
I'm
you
just
are.
saying, like, if Mike's
he didn't
taking
break a sweat.
Mike's taking his shirt off and Bert takes his shirt off,
It's not a
it's not the
competition.
same, but it doesn't look the same.
Not a competition.
And there's age difference.
Yeah.
Bert's what? In his
He's got a
50s?
giant belly, dude. What are you talking about?
Well,
age?
he likes beer, doesn't he? Isn't that a beer?
I like beer. I like
he's
to
a
drink beer.
Kavanaugh.
Guys that drink, he just can't get rid of that belly.
No, you can't. But see, there, Teddy Swims. I feel like, Teddy Swims is having a moment, and they're like, "Will you dance around in the hallway?" I mean, like, I don't want to. I really don't want to do that.
But some people look good doing it. Like there's people that like I said, like Michelle
Smokey
Obama walked
did
out. She kind of felt like comfortable doing it.
Yeah, and I think, like, at least for Michelle Obama, it's a moment to show yourself as a human being.
Right,
When you're in that
right.
political world at the highest levels.
She look
Is that
uncomfortable.
Joshua Jackson?
That's Pacey.
He doesn't want to do
No,
this.
Pacey, you could tell because he's just like walking and clapping. See, Pacey's in a weird spot.
Yeah, because he's the man.
Well, because Pacey is also like, look, I've been doing this for a long time. I do need to do a little work to maintain relevancy, like any of us do. That's not a shot. Like, you got to sort of stay up. I've been in the conversation since I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I got to stay in this conversation, so I can't be like, I'm not doing that bullshit. I can't big time them. But at the same time, you could tell. Like, he had a stylist dress him to be like, okay, I gotta keep up, which is true.
Fine.
It's fine.
He's an older man.
And he goes like, all right, let me just clap through the dance line. so I can figure out what that line is where I do not want to do this,
46.
but I have to do this. Like I feel like I would just like, I don't know, walk through and I mean,
And that's what he's doing.
could I be? But I wouldn't. I'd probably do the. I probably honestly, I think I'd probably handle it very similarly to Pacey. I think Pacey has the right idea. You just got to clap through it. You got to plaster a smile on your face. But I would never, as a show host, make this part of the show, because I'd be like, every guest after they do the hallway dance is going to be like, now I got to do this fucking interview. Like I wouldn't want to be on the show after I did that.
But it's doing something different, which you know.
You're putting your guests in uncomfortable positions.
Well, if they agree to do the show, they know that they're getting themselves involved in.
You don't think it energizes them? It gets them excited?
That's a great question, Mike. No, I do not. No, I do not. And if it did, I'd be like, you know what? Whichever guests get energized and excited by the hallway dance, I no longer want them on my show.
But they love the vibe.
I know. That's what it is, right? We got to create a vibe.
Do they all? Yeah, I guess they
Everybody
do.
has to do it. They have to.
Or Slim Jelly Roll.
Well, Jelly Roll is a you know, God bless. Jelly Roll is a people pleaser for sure.
Yes.
Like he likes to. He's a vibe guy. He's like, okay, whatever.
Well, he's in this position where he still feels very fortunate to be where
Yeah,
he
he's
is.
grateful. That's
He's grateful.
Right. He's grateful, and he's like, okay, whatever you guys need, I'm here for you.
Whereas
Whereas,
tell everybody how shitty the music industry is.
and I love that.
I love
You
that.
have to love that.
I love
for
that
him.
he's coming from this other place, and I love that he's like, you know what, whatever you need, let me do it for you. But I don't know. I don't think I'd have it in me.
Oh, Dennis Leary, he didn't want to do this.
Dennis Leary absolutely did not want to do it. He wanted to show up with a cigarette and go like, you know what, I hate dancing in the hallway. Everybody's fucking dancing in the hallway.
So he's doing the silly thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm
Let
not
me do as
taking it
few moves as
seriously.
possible with big gates.
That's gotta suck for Dennis Leary, because he was, when he first achieved his fame, like when he was doing those MTV vignettes, he was the guy that would mock this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's not in that position anymore, so he can't mock this. He's got to do it, but he
Right.
also still kind of has to be the guy that would mock this.
Yes.
And that's what I mean. That's why this is an uncomfortable thing. If you guys came to me and you were like, I have an idea for a fun... Like, Christina Ricci doesn't want to do it. You could tell from her face, and she shouldn't have to do it.
She's the queen.
She's a goddess on earth.
She still looks good.
Are you kidding me? She looks the best. Christina Ricci... Look, good for you, Christina Ricci.
She barely did it. And
You are so great at everything.
Isn't she?
You know what? If you want to know... Like, if you want to know how I feel about Christina Ricci, she's like how you feel about Eric Nies.
Well,
I feel about Christina Ricci.
I
Like,
figured
if you
out my
can-
feelings.
Me too. And that's where we're both at.
Same.
That's where we're both at. I
understand your attraction to her.
love Christina Ricci. I have loved Christina Ricci for a long time. And the fact that she was like, you know what? I'm not going to give you a boo-boo face, but like, this is the last thing on earth that I want to do right now. I'm going to give you a little elbow shake, and then I'm going to walk the rest of the way.
Christina Ricci and Sarah Huckabee Sanders are both drowning. You can only save one.
Oof.
Well,
You know what I do?
One's going to sink.
And
to
you
the rock.
and you
yeah, I was gonna say, I know. The
You know
easy
what?
one.
I was going to go the opposite route.
There's low hanging fruit.
You know what I do? I tip Sarah on her back, use her as a flotation device for Christina Ricci.
Smart,
right?
Like Titanic.
Smart, right? And then I say both of them. She's my Titanic door. That's right. And I love them both.
Oh, she's the best.
Christina Ricci,
I'm so glad she's like back.
I've had deep feelings for Christina Ricci way longer. So
I
you know what I
totally
mean?
get that.
There has to be some loyalty
Oh, did
there.
Barbara dance?
Barbara has to dance.
Oh,
Barbara
no.
knows she's got to dance. Okay. Barb.
She's a queen. Real estate.
Okay.
I hate these songs that they make up for
And
everyone.
what do you think they would sing for me? Oh, she's kicking her shoes off. Okay, Wiki Feet. I see you, Barbara Corcoran. I'm watching. Get that long shot. Yeah, that's the other thing. I'd probably be annoyed at whatever they chose to sing about for me.
Maybe just be a
What if
riff.
it was like Thunder Kiss 65?
Yeah. Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
and they
dun,
just
dun,
sang it
dun,
straight?
dun.
Like no parody lyric?
Oh, yeah.
That I would.
That'd be sick.
I'd be like, you guys fucking rule. Nobody told me you guys are the best. Yeah. Then if they did that for me, I would.
Or like
then,
more human than human?
Yeah. Yeah. If they did that for me, then I'd be like, whatever you guys need. Even if it was Dragula.
Yeah.
If they were just like talking
You
about
would accept Dracula?
Dragula, would be fine.
All right.
Yeah. they just started singing about digging through the ditches, burning through the witches, I'd be like, you guys rule. Did you know I was coming?
Benny's gonna do it, no problem.
Benny Blanco's going to do it because he's newly super famous. People, like, he was industry famous already, industry successful, but now he's a super famous guy. Did Seth Rogen do it?
I
I wonder if Seth Rogen was the guy that was
don't
like,
see him doing
he
it.
probably said he wasn't going to do it.
And they're like, okay, we'll take it anyway.
yeah. Seth is the one guy that's like, no, I'm not doing that.
You watch his show?
Not
On
yet.
Apple? It's very good.
Everybody has said it's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Adam Devine did it, but it's. I mean, he's a song and dance man.
Yes, he is.
So I felt like this was right up his alley. Like, what was his song?
Plays front day, Adam Devine, yeah. He's walking out onto the stage, Adam Devine.
They have to sit in meetings and come up with these stupid
Yeah,
fucking
they do.
songs.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, whoever does that's very unlikable.
And
It's
you know,
all of them, probably.
And you know, they watch the video.
They're probably all very unlikable.
Yes.
They watch the video, and they find the staff member that wasn't quite enthusiastic enough, and it's very Office Space flair. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, the bare minimum is to sing and dance, but you could show a lot of enthusiasm
Yeah,
if you wanted to.
absolutely.
If you really wanted to go the extra mile.
A lot of people in that lineup who want to talk to you about Ted Lasso at parties.
Yeah. Yeah. They have the Ted Lasso
In a
song
positive way.
all worked out.
Oh yeah, they want to talk about how great it was during pandemic.
A lot of people love Ted Lasso. I like that Billy Zane did it. Shout out to Billy Zane. You know I love Billy Zane.
You really do. He should just be happy he's still doing it.
He's got to do it. Billy Zane's got to put everything into it. Yeah. See, like, Billy Zane's like, yes.
It's like, thank God people
Yeah.
care about me in 2025.
I wish he was wearing that Titanic wig, too.
That'd be weird if he was still wearing it.
I think it'd be great. He was first class, baby. Yeah, no, and then I walk out and do the interview. I'd be like, this is the last thing in the world I want to do right now is talk to anyone. I feel so embarrassed. I feel ashamed. I don't want to do an interview anymore. If you guys came to me and you were like, and Hot Dog's done this before, what if I go, don't, just stop right there. Stop right there. He goes, when you have like people over to like your studio, your house, he once asked me if I wanted to like ask a wrestler if they wanted to cook like food,
Bert does that.
and we could video them. No, but Bert does a whole podcast around food and it's with other comedians. That's a different thing. He wanted to do like a cute bit. And I was like, I'm not doing cute
Good
bits.
for you. Did you tell him it was a stupid idea?
I said I'm not doing any of it. I said stop your brainstorming. I'm not doing any of it. I'm gonna invite them in.
Maybe see if the wrestlers want to, like, take your dog out and pick
No.
up its shit.
Yeah,
Nope.
that'd be funny.
No.
Get them to pick up the shit in the
Yeah.
backyard.
Okay, now it's
I'm
your
gonna go full Nathan for you, and you have to act like me. So there's some dishes in the sink. I've been meaning to vacuum, so you would do all the chores around the house.
My kid likes a bedtime story.
Yeah, so if you could read to my kid, and then we'll do the interview after that.
Yeah.
It's just a fun bit we do. No, I can't do any of this stuff. I can't.
Dog with the ideas.
I can't be around it. It makes my skin crawl a little bit.
Well, you can't be mad at Hot Dog for spitballing some ideas.
I'm not mad at him. I just told him, like, if anything, he's probably mad at me because he's like, we have all these ideas that would gain traction, and you know they would gain traction.
Of course they would, but
I can't.
you're trying to keep your integrity.
And I don't want my skin to crawl.
Right.
I want my skin to be right on my bones. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to stay right here.
It's not you.
Things that make my skin crawl are just things I don't want to do. And there's a big list of things that make my skin crawl. So whatever. George Santos is going to be dancing all the way into a jail cell.
Oh, right. George Santos.
Yeah, so George Santos, not only did he get 7 years in jail, which is a lot, but he also has to pay back like $300,000.
How's he going to do that in jail?
I always say either the money or jail. I shouldn't have to pay back. If it's like, I shouldn't have to pay you back and then also go to jail. Especially, like, I'll pay you back with interest, fine. But if you're getting the money back, why do I also have to go to jail for
Well, you have
7
to learn
years?
your lesson.
There's no, what are you talking about? I'm going to learn. You don't think I'm going to learn anything by having to fork over? So he's got to pay $300,000 plus. They're
$374.
That's almost $400,000.
And over $240.
They're seizing $200,000.
Good.
So his shit that he already has, they're taking, and they want almost $400,000 from this guy, and then also he's got to go to jail for 7 years. It doesn't. What do you mean you get it?
He has been so unremorseful. His podcast is called Pants on Fire. Like, he doesn't take any of this shit seriously.
Well, he's a liar.
You gotta have a sense of humor about yourself.
Exactly. It's tongue in cheek.
Lazy eyewitness news.
It's fun. Isn't it fun?
We're having a good time.
And do you take your lazy eye seriously?
No.
You do. You
lied
do not.
about
Okay,
9/11.
all right.
Like,
All right, maybe.
He's a piece of shit.
Wow, no, he didn't lie about that.
Yes, he did.
Well, no, because he said his mom died of 9/11.
Like,
But it was of 9/11. There's a lot of things. Maybe it's stress related from 9/11.
he just lied about like the worst shit for no reason.
Wow, I don't know. You know,
That's funny anyway.
And he took
kinda
all
funny.
that money from that dude's GoFundMe for the dog that ended up having to die.
recipes to the dog. I mean, sure. But he's not going to jail for 9/11 lies, by the way. He just no, okay, I'm not against that. But he's going to jail because he accepted election funds when he was running for office, before he got thrown out of office. You know, he was accepting funds for his campaign, and then he was using those funds, apparently, and this is all alleged.
I don't think you have to say alleged after he's been found guilty.
But only in a court of law. So I think you would still say alleged.
Okay.
Allegedly, the court says, a jury of his peers say, that he was allegedly.
I guess I don't understand what conviction means.
No, no. You can't just say whatever you want about people.
Okay.
He allegedly. It's like OJ was allegedly fiscally responsible for the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson.
I thought he was found guilty of that.
No, only in a civil case, and that's alleged.
Okay.
But so he took the election funds that they gave him, and I think you're supposed to make like oak tag, vote for George signs, and maybe throw a soiree to get everybody interested. I don't know what you do with these election funds. Maybe make a commercial about how much the other guy sucks. And instead of that, he was like, okay, let me get some Botox treatments. Hopefully he didn't go to Nicole Biggins' Botox doctor, because that guy was giving people botulism.
He's not that stupid.
Allegedly. So he goes to Botox doctor. He was buying designer suits, which is nice, and all kinds of like trinkets and just fun stuff, so he could live life. He could live in the lap of luxury.
Wasn't he also taking donators' credit card information? Like,
yeah, but he needs it to get the donations.
right? Okay, my mistake.
And what if they want to donate again? He's like, we could get you on Speedy Pay.
What if we just assume you want to donate again?
Well, I bet they do. He's a great, and they're gonna want to donate again when they see this guy's new look. That's the thing. Everybody acts like buying a suit at, I don't know, Louis Vuitton and getting Botox is not part of the gig. Of course, it's a part of the gig.
That look good.
You have to look good.
Just go to Men's Warehouse.
No, you can't. You're not gonna
fit the same.
I would never vote for somebody wearing a suit that wasn't like pristine.
It needs to be tailored.
It needs to be
Tailor a
tailored
suit at Men's Warehouse?
or custom made. Even better.
Even better.
Even better. Tom Ford custom made, little Botox, and you can't vote for somebody with wrinkles.
Yeah, but if you're just
can't.
a lowly politician that's running for office, how are you supposed to afford all that?
You get it from the donators. You know what I mean?
Figured it out.
You get people. You're like, hey, here's a bunch of lies about me. Like, would you donate based on these lies? They're like, yeah, we'll donate based on those lies. He's like, cool. Time to go shopping.
Good, I see he's already begging Trump for a pardon.
Yes, he is. He did a press conference already. Maybe we've see if the press conference is out there. He did a press conference. He since he has taken really no ownership or shown no remorse for any of this stuff, it's interesting that he goes like, hey, by the way, this was a little harsh, don't you think? This is a little severe. And he's asking Trump for a pardon, which I hope he gets, because I want the pod to continue. I'm worried we won't get any new episodes of Pants on Fire, the pod, if he's in jail, unless he does it through the phone or whatever.
Did he speak afterwards? Because this was just a post on X.
Oh, I thought he spoke. This is a long one.
I didn't see him.
Oh, okay. Well, look, George. I mean, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe the $300K you owe wouldn't be so harsh if you weren't paying for Twitter. I can't fit all these characters on my Twitter.
That's like $60 a month.
Yeah. I like, too, that he's really on brand. He changed his Twitter name to Pants on Fire with George Santos. I mean, you probably should have just gone with George Santos's show. It's just easier. He says, "This is the hardest statement I've ever written." I'll bet it is. Is that a little sexual innuendo, a little pun? The hardest statement I've ever written. I write this humbled, chastened, and like a chastity belt.
Yeah.
And fully accountable for choices that shattered the faith so many placed in me. Can you imagine interacting with somebody that goes, "You don't understand. I put so much faith in George Santos, and he completely broke my trust.
He was our guy.
He was our guy. I believed every word that he said."
He shattered my faith.
Because whenever he spoke, I mean, there was nothing about when he was running for office. People were like, "These facts do not add up at all. I don't think he graduated from these schools." I betrayed.
That's definitely him in a dress.
Yeah, and he's like, "No." Yeah, he even said he wasn't in a Brazilian drag show.
And then the internet was like, "We'll see about that."
And then he was like, "Big deal, I was. Why are you making such a big deal out of it?" He's one of those guys that gets caught in a lie, and then he says the thing is not a big deal. And you go, "We're not talking about the thing. We're talking about you lying about the thing." And he's like, "But the thing's not a big deal, so stop." And you're like, "Why do you keep lying?" And he's like, "Why are you making such a big deal out of it?" All right, whatever, George.
But you're exactly right.
Right.
Like, nobody gave a shit that he was, like, dressing up as a drag queen.
Like, if I told you I'm 100% going to be here at 7 a.m., and you're like, "Cool," and I get here at 7:59, right before the show starts, you're like, "Where the fuck were you?" I go, "I'm here on time. And the show's about to," you go, "But you said," like, you made a whole big deal that you're going to be here at 7 a.m. And I go, "It's not a big deal. I'm here to start the show." And you go, "Yeah, I know. I'm not talking about starting the show. I'm talking about what you said." And I go, "But it's not a big deal." You go, "Whatever then, dude." Like, you can't.
All right, fine.
Fine. And then you just get to, if you do it that way, you just get to keep lying. I betrayed the confidence entrusted to me by so many. For that, I offer my deepest apologies. Also, it's always good when you offer an apology for the first time after, not only after you're found guilty, after you get your sentencing. You would think after he was found guilty, the apologies would start rolling. But the sentencing is what made it, like, he was already guilty. And he got the sentencing delayed because he wanted a few months to do his pod, because he said he'd be able to raise about $500,000 doing the podcast, which I don't know if Pants on Fire has developed that kind of a buzz, to tell you the truth. He said, "When I pled guilty, I did so without reservation." Because he did it. I said then, and I repeat now, that my conduct betrayed my supporters and diminished the institution I was privileged to serve. Those words have weighed on me every day since. I can tell. You could tell in his cameos when you look in his eyes. Like, there's something weighing on his soul. I cannot rewrite the past. I've tried, but they won't let me. He's attempted to rewrite the past many times.
To lie.
I'm Jewish. My mom died in 9/11. I went to all these colleges. Like, I keep trying to rewrite the past, and you guys keep arresting me. But I cannot. He said, "I cannot rewrite the past, but I can control the road ahead." Yeah, no, you can't. You know why you can't control the road ahead? Because the prison guards are going to have to control the road ahead. You're not allowed to control your road ahead when you're in jail. Somebody else tells you everything to do. Ask Sam Bankman-Fried, who's controlling the road ahead.
Poor guy.
Sam Bankman-Fried?
Yeah.
He's got all my money. I asked the court for a sentence that balances accountability with the chance to prove through sustained, measurable action that I can still contribute positively to the community I wronged. You've had months to contribute positively to the community that you've wronged, and all you did was the Pants on Fire show and Matan's podcast. I saw that one. I believe that's
great on Jim's podcast.
It was great on Jim's podcast. I don't know if, he was like, by the way,
I credit that mostly to Jim.
I've given out advice on Jim Norton's podcast to a whole generation of people. I believe that 7 years is an over-the-top, politically influenced sentence, and I implore that President Trump give me a chance to prove I'm more than the mistakes that I've made. Respectfully, George Santos. I love a multi-paragraph, "I'm sorry, I'm accountable, I'm ready to accept the consequences of my action. May I please be pardoned? May I please have a pardon?"
I said sorry.
I said sorry. I'm going to get you the $300K whenever I can get it. I'm working on it right now. Also, it doesn't help me get the 300K when you're taking my 200K. That doesn't help at all. But also, may I please be pardoned? And I swear, I'll be fine.
You want to hear him talk about it a little?
I do.
Okay.
I really do.
Fox 5.
The moment I had these
From today, you were upset. What do you take away from this?
Well, look, Jody, I've never, since the moment I had the sombering realization I was taking responsibility for my actions, never in a moment did I waver on being remorseful or, repentant. Now, the one thing I wasn't counting for.
You can tell
was
that I'm telling the truth because I don't remember what the words are.
Yeah, I have no idea how I feel.
I've always been whatever. Sorry, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. What's the word you want? What do you want me to say? I'll say it. Whatever you want me to say, I'll say it right now. If you can get me one of those P words, pardons.
This would become a political sentencing. 7 years, 2 months and a half is a very long time.
This is the Salem witch trials all over again.
Yeah.
This is, first they came for George Santos and I said nothing. This is terrible. This is terrible what they're doing to George. All he did was lie about everything, allegedly, and misappropriate all of the campaign funds, allegedly. Allegedly, by the way.
I don't think it's alleged.
And that hasn't been proven.
I think they did prove it.
Where?
In the court.
Of?
Law.
Okay. I thought it was public opinion. That's my bad then. I didn't read the whole article. That's my bad.
I genuinely thought that the judge would be fair and seek something reasonable.
I thought she'd be cool.
I renew
this is not cool.
my statements that pedophiles and sex traffickers
What?
get shorter sentences than me being a first-time offender. That being said,
Which,
shouldn't
shouldn't you go, hey, it feels like a totally different thing. If you were to be pardoned, would you start advocating strongly for sex traffickers and pedophiles to get longer sentences, or are you just trying to use that to get out of your sentence?
Just please let me out.
I don't want to go to jail. I'll never make it in jail.
He won't.
Yes, he will. He's a slick talker, baby. He'll be fine.
Everybody knows he's a liar.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah, he'll be the king in there, dude. He's a slick talker, and he's charming. Everybody loves
He's
George.
not charming.
Everybody loves George Santos.
He seems like if you hung with him, he'd be a fun guy.
I want to hang with
He'd
George.
be a fun guy, but I wouldn't trust a word he's saying.
Of course not.
I mean, it's jail. What are you gonna do? What do you need? You need a guy that you can hang with. You know what else are you doing? He's a fun guy, and
He's afraid he's going to be used.
he's not going to be used, bro. He's George Santos. He
may be anticipating it enthusiastically.
No, he's a married man, Mike.
He's going to get in there, dude.
Prison hall pass.
And he's going to talk shit. He's going to talk shit about everybody. And he's going to make shit up about everybody,
Yeah, he might be cool.
You want to know the truth about this politician? They're going to be like, yeah, talk yo shit, George.
And he's going to make shit up.
Of course he's going to make shit up.
He doesn't have 7 years worth of stories.
He doesn't have 1 year worth of stories. He's going to make it all up. But who cares? Some of these people in jail, they just need to pass the time.
That's why they got books.
Yeah, you want to read book. What's more entertaining? Any book that's ever been written or George Santos lying about politicians? I say George Santos' lies are more entertaining.
After a while, I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever, dude.
No way. After a while, here. Because you have access to everything. If you could just hear George Santos stories forever, that's like getting live access to the Pants on Fire pod.
I already have that, and I don't use it.
No, live. You can't see the pod live.
I don't care.
What are you on Patreon?
He's got shit to say about everybody.
Yeah.
Remember he said that some shit about who was he talking about on Jim's podcast, and it made big news.
Big news. He's going to do
Hey,
great.
that guy had bad breath.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Body odor.
Body odor.
Body odor.
He's got like an afternoon's worth of stories.
He makes them up. He's good at making them
right,
up.
but anybody can make up stories.
No, not good ones. George makes up good stories. He's a pro.
That's why I read books, because they're made up stories.
I'd rather hear him from George. Because the book will tell you this is a made-up book. George, there's a suspension of disbelief. And it passes the time when you're in jail.
I would hate to be his cellmate.
Because he's just yapping.
Oh, he just wouldn't shut up.
Did I ever tell you
Probably
about...
cry a lot.
Did I ever tell you about the time... Yeah, George, that didn't happen. That never happened.
That's what I'm saying. It would start to get annoying. He would cry. I bet he farts a lot, too.
He might fart a
He
little
looks
bit.
like he would fart a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
He might fart a bit. A big deal.
And I mean,
Small price to pay.
the first day that he could go to that commissary, he's spending all his monies.
I hope not. You can't do that.
Oh.
You can't let them see you do that.
Right, but you know he's stupid, and he's going to want
He's not stupid.
all the snacks.
Wow, you would want snacks. Because it's comfort food, and you're uncomfortable in jail. I think he's going to get a pardon. Let's see what else he's got to
You
say.
think he's going to get a pardon?
He should.
Trump's got more important things to worry about.
Like what?
Everything.
Oh.
Literally everything except this.
What, a bunch of fake polls? Come on.
This is
Get
like
real.
the last thing he needs to be worrying about.
Get real. A bunch of fake polls. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, we got to investigate them
That's right. Investigate the fake polls.
for election fraud.
That's right.
I previously had held a belief that I was not going to seek a pardon, because I believed it was going to be a fair process.
Hey,
and
I
after
don't
today,
want a pardon.
I can't help but to feel like this was an overreaching verdict, and I will definitely. What my options are moving forward as far as the pardon goes. I don't know how to do it, where to start, but I'm going to
I
start.
declare a pardon.
Michael Scott.
I don't know 100%
I don't know how to do it.
how to get it done. I'm going to start with a big tweet, and hopefully that gets... I know the president likes Twitter, so I'm going to start with there. I do love the idea. Look, I was ready. I was ready to just... Whatever the judge had for me, I'm going to do it, but too much.
Yeah,
Too much.
If he got a weekend, he would have been like, no.
I said, no mas, no mas. I need to go get that pardon.
I was gonna serve my time,
But
but
this is a political lynching. This is not right what's happening.
It's a witch hunt.
It's a witch hunt, and I refuse. I thought we were past this.
Making those phone calls.
So prior to today, you wanted to give it, a fair shake. You trusted the process, and now after seeing what happened, you're going to pursue the possibility of a pardon. Is that right?
Commutation, pardon, whatever, clemency. I don't know how this works.
I don't know.
Yes,
whatever.
in premature terms, yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I just wanna go to jail.
Whatever
what
gets me
as
out.
far as,
Yeah.
moving forward for these next 3 months, you have 3 months. What do you plan on doing?
I'd go to Disney.
A lot
I
of
need to
pants
figure
on
out my
fire
life.
pods.
I need to see. I need to earn income in this meantime, and fulfill some projects that I'm working on.
I like that.
Pay some restitution.
I like that. George goes, you know what I'm going to do in the meantime? I'm
my
going to get that bag.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that bag, and I'm going to get that pardon. And then we're going to just be lit. That's basically what he's saying. I know he's on Cameo actively now. He's like, you got to get my cameos
Wonder if he raised the price.
because I'm 300K in the hole. I don't know. I don't know I feel like the better strategy for him right now would be to lower the price and
you're right.
try to get quantity, because how much is it?
It's a 24-hour flash sale.
Oh, I love
67% off.
I love a flash sale.
$300 down to $100.
Still, $100 is steep for George Santos.
I can't see. I mean, who's buying that?
I think you do $30 and see if you could just sell a ton of them.
Quantity over quality.
Well, think about it. If you do $30 and you sell 10,000 of them, that's your 300K right there.
At least he's up early doing cameos. Last completed one about 20 minutes ago.
Wow.
Maybe we should get one.
I don't know.
You think we could expense it?
Yeah, McClure's got it, right?
I think it comes right out of his pocket.
$100 is a lot.
Get him in studio to promote it.
George?
Yeah.
To promote the cameo?
I would love to have
Or
George.
going to jail?
I want to have George Santos in studio.
No.
We mean no.
I'm just saying no.
Why?
We overwrite him, right?
Yeah, 100%. Well, yeah. I'm just saying, who cares what you're saying?
And we know Mike would be down with it.
Should we book him?
100%. He
Yeah.
brings donuts too?
Well, I don't know if he's
yeah.
got. I don't know if he's
That's
got the
asking a lot.
disposable income. He'd maybe make some cupcakes at home.
Well, he's making all that money from the podcast.
You talking about Pants on Fire Pod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be cool if he brought donuts. Ian brings donuts.
Ian does, but Ian's not in the whole 500K for election campaign frauds.
No, but
Well, not yet.
he's going to make restitution.
You think he will?
George Santos?
Yeah.
He said that's what he's doing for the 3 months.
He's gonna try to get the bag.
Yeah. He's got to finish some projects, make restitution.
He's like, I'm gonna give a phone call to Alex Cooper, see how he can get one of those $1 million deals. I'm not 100% how this podcast game works, but
Should we try to book him through Cameo?
I mean, I don't know how else to do it. I don't have any direct contact with him. But yeah, have him in. He could plug his podcast. However he's trying to get the bag, we'll help him. Him, Billy McFarland. I want all those guys in.
A murderer's row.
Yeah. From going forward, I don't want anyone in here that we think is going
lie.
to tell the truth. Nobody in here. We've had too many people in here just telling the truth. Like, oh, here's what I'm going through right now. No more.
All right.
It's enough.
George.
I want tall
Billy.
tales. I want all the interview segments.
Roland.
Oh, Mike Lindell.
Oh, I want Mike Lindell in here for sure.
A super show with all of those guys together.
100%.
I believe Mike Lindell believes what he's saying is true.
I don't care what that's fine. I
Billy
know
knows he's lying. George knows he's lying.
I don't care. I don't care how we get there. As long as it's a tall tale, I don't care. I want the interview segment to be renamed Tall Tales.
Tall Tales with Sam Roberts?
Yep. And I want only people. I want Hulk Hogan in here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about Metallica. So you really turned him down, huh? He'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, that's sick, dude.
About that grill.
Yeah. Remember when you got the grill? He's like, yep. I go, yeah. I go, hey, didn't you like work in Japan? So technically, because you were going back and forth, you worked more than 365 days? He'd be like, yes, I did. I go, this is great. This has been Tall Tales with Hulk Hogan and Sam Roberts.
Didn't you find Brock Lesnar?
He's like, yeah, I found him in the UFC. I go, I remember that. I'm a fan. I remember that. I was there for your Wembley match. He's like, you're in the wrong seat. I'm kidding, brother. I go, oh, okay. Oh, you got me on that one. Yeah. I want anybody who we can't verify their answers. I want in here.
You want?
Because it's fun. Because it's more unpredictable.
We should be on the dump button the whole time.
Yeah. Or I mean,
no, I can't say that.
well, I think if you call a segment Tall Tales,
Right.
you can then say whatever you want about
Fictional
anybody.
Follies with Sam Roberts.
Right. You could say whatever because there's an implication that this is not to be taken seriously whatsoever. Yeah, I think that would be great. No show's ever done that. Like just book guests that you can't trust. I think that'd be really good. You know?
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't want anybody that's done worse stuff. I'm not talking about like having horrible people in here. I'm just talking about people who like maybe they can't help themselves. Maybe, you know, I'm talking about the types of people that like, you know, if you got the facts but the legend's more interesting, let's print the legend. I'm talking about those folks.
Okay.
I want them all in.
I mean, Troy and I tried Billy.
I want Billy McFarland in
He
here.
gave
Billy,
us a cold shoulder.
tell me your most sensational story. And he would tell me. You know? I love those people.
We'll get George.
Yeah. And whatever he says, I go, that's amazing and true.
Tell me more.
I go, and that's true.
And then what happened?
He go, yeah, that's true. I go, that's amazing. You know? It's the segment's called No Pushback with Sam Roberts.
No follow-ups.
No pushback. You give me something, I'm taking you at your word. No matter who you are, I am 100% taking you at your word. It can be a politician, it can be an actor, it can be a musician. I don't care. And you guys in the room would be looking at each other like, what the hell? We know that this isn't true.
Why is he singing that?
I go, I don't care. They go, Sam, going to push back at all? No. Not one bit. I'm going to ask the question, then I'm going to move on to the next question. And we're going to get another answer with no pushback, no follow-up, no nothing.
What's wrong, buddy?
I'm going to go revolutionize
Have some computer issues.
how things are going. You know?
All right. We'll send him a cameo.
Like a DM?
Yeah.
How much are you going to pay for the DMs?
Oh, I don't even know. Oh, you can't even DM him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, send a message. $19.99.
$20 to send him a message
Yeah.
that he doesn't even have to reply to. That's good business.
Let's see. Can I just whoop?
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna correct.
Let's go to Brendan in Chicago. What's up, Brendan?
Dude, I got the perfect name for your show. Just call it Dumb Sam Roberts Show, and then it's satire. It's parody.
That's true. If we call it Dumb Sam Roberts Show, then I feel like anything that happens within Dumb Sam Roberts Show would fall under parody law.
Exactly.
That's a smart thing to do. I love that. Thank you, Brendan.
Can't message him on Twitter.
That's too bad. Tell him we have a parody. We have a parody radio show.
Dumb Sam Roberts.
It's called Dumb Sam Roberts Show, and now you could just come on and say whatever you want. There you go, Your Honor. This is a parody radio show. It's called Dumb Sam Roberts Show. It's this is a satire. This is a satire of a radio show. So anything that is said, should be taken as satire. Let's go to John in Virginia. What's up, John?
Sam, if you want to hear bullshit lies, you have the best audience possible for that, them being mostly truck drivers. You will never hear so many bullshit lies if you talk to a truck driver.
But see, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like I feel like the same thing. Like, truck drivers are on the road so much that if you have somebody with you that's just telling you stories that you know are lies, you don't care, right? It's passing the time. I feel like the same thing would happen in jail.
That Christmas tree farmer that Opie and Anthony had, oh my God, I have never heard those. That was like the biggest fucking truck driver bullshit liar I have ever heard.
What's his face from North Carolina?
Yeah.
Listening to that, like, oh, I've got 15 classic cars worth $5 million each, and I restored all my damn self. Oh my fucking God! I was screaming at the radio. Shut up.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, John. Yeah, I think liars can be like a lot of fun. Once you know, okay, this is what we're dealing with. That's just the road we're on right now. Let's talk to this guy. I mean, I think it's a fairly revolutionary idea. I mean, Billy McFarland he just gave an update. You know, our pal Adam Glynn, who I don't think he still works.
I don't think he does, no.
Yeah, he used to work at TMZ, and now he's doing his own thing. And his stuff pops up all the time. I think he calls it like Adam's Apple or something, because he does interviews on the streets of the Big Apple, Los Angeles. And I believe that he got Billy McFarland to just kind of break down.
He just wouldn't shut up.
Everything that he's going through, because as we learned last week, not only is Firefest 2, I would say postponed. I think postponed is the right word.
Definitely.
But Billy thinks that the problem is not the Firefest brand, that the Firefest is brand strong. And he says that because people are talking about it, that means there's profit to be had, which I think is right. And so he thinks that the problem is him, which I would argue, look, we follow the Firefest thing very, very closely here. Most people do not associate Billy McFarland and Firefest. They just know Firefest as the disastrous festival, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, Billy McFarland is not a brand.
No.
Like, we know who he is because we're, like, geeks about this. But Firefest is the brand. Like, they don't say, when something goes wrong, if a TV show falls apart, they don't say it's the Billy McFarland of TV shows. They say it's the Firefest of TV shows. When nobody could get into Coachella because the parking was all fucked up, they didn't say this is like the beginning of Billy McFarland.
Oh, this is so Billy.
This is, they pulled a real McFarland here. No, they said this is like Fire Festival. You know, Seth MacFarlane has not suffered at all because of this. It's not a problem. But Billy is saying that he is the issue, so he is going to step away so that Firefest can continue without him sullying the brand. However, the good news is he is selling off the IP, so Billy will be able to profit from this decision.
Troy, did you get a reply to our offer?
I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, what do we go, $5,500 for it?
Yeah.
I'm still, by the way, that offer is still on the table.
Maybe they're collecting all offers and then they'll get back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out, Troy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Billy did this interview on the street where our pal Adam tried to get a little bit more to the bottom of what Billy's got going on now.
Well, exactly.
Sure. So I'm sure you guys saw the news where we've been working in Mexico since September to make Fire Festival 2 happen. We do this big announcement. We do a press conference with the government of Playa del Carmen.
How come when Billy McFarland talks...
Always smiling?
Well, if you look at him, it's just the lower lip down. It's just the jaw that moves. Upper lip to forehead, completely immobile.
You don't have to criticize everybody on
Well, I'm just saying that nothing else is moving on his face. It's just lower jaw, like the extremity on his skull. That is the whole lower jaw, the mandible, you know? The mandible is all that moves on his face. Nothing else on his face is moving. Like,
is that why it's called the mandible claw?
That's right. That's 100% right.
I just learned that.
Oh, yeah.
Figured it out.
Oh, yeah, that's what that is. It's paralyzing, by the way.
Yeah,
There's a nerve under the tongue.
No, I know. I've seen it done before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's just another, like...
Awesome dude?
Nope. Like, tech nerd that never learned how to properly socialize.
Nah, dude.
You know, like,
He's the man.
uncomfortable anytime he's talking. Like, this is not a natural thing for him to do.
He looks like how I would look in the Jennifer Hudson dance line. Like, he looks like I'm in the wrong place and I want to crawl out of my skin.
He looks the same way Zuckerberg did until he got, like, years of social coaching.
Yeah, he went to human classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And 4 days after the press conference, they publicly said they'd never heard of fire. So after that, we were, looking for new locations and trying to figure out the best option for the brand. We have a great Caribbean country that reached out to us, but I'm just so scared that the same thing happens again, where we announce fire there. The New York Times calls them all day long, and they're like, "Who's Billy? We never heard of him." So I think it was like the long.
Why don't you just have them sign a piece of paper?
Self-obsessed.
Why don't you get everything in order
and then
announce it?
Yeah.
Who's Billy?
Who's Billy? I never heard of Billy. I'm Billy. Like, that's.
It really feels like he just has no idea what the hell he's talking about.
No.
None. I think, but he loves slick talk.
Yeah.
He just figures like the more if he just keeps talking, there's no room for questions, and you're just like, okay, I guess that's what's going on. He's got a Caribbean country, but they don't. He's worried that they're gonna. And can you imagine if you're in business with somebody and he's like, look, I want to announce that we're in business together. However, I'm worried that you will pretend you don't know me. Like, you wouldn't say that publicly if you were in business with somebody, because the people you were in business with would be like, hey, the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, that's actually really rude.
Hard realization that, fire is way bigger than me, and I'm holding fire back. So if I'm not in charge and I pass the reins off to somebody else, I think the brand can go and flourish. And unfortunately, I'm holding it back at this point.
Well, so you think you are holding it back? Is it because your name's attached to it?
I think my name is attached to it, and the combination of Fire and Billy just creates such a massive media wave right now that it just scares a lot of people off. And
it's definitely not just Firefest. No, it's the combination of Fire and Billy. If you were able to separate Billy from Fire, then the the negative media tidal wave would not come down. For sure, when Firefest became the biggest thing and everybody was talking about the cheese sandwiches, they were going, are those Billy McFarland cheese sandwiches? For sure. Are those Billy McFarland FEMA tents instead of sweets?
He's figured it out.
He got it. Yep. He nailed it.
They're very supportive. They're giving us everything we need to make Fire Festival 2 happen. And then once it goes public, people just get scared.
Yeah.
So I think that if a bigger company who has the infrastructure to handle like this media wave can run with Fire Festival, the vision could be executed. And I want Fire to succeed more than I want to succeed. So we got to do what's best for the brand.
Yeah, that's very selfless.
If you sell it, do you still want to be involved with it, or are you just trying to get some money to help support it? Exactly.
I hope they hire me. So since 2017,
I mean, it'd be a good fire. It'd be a great hire.
I'd be like, well, what's your previous experience with large-scale festivals?
Well, I mean, I made this brand everything that it is. Oh, okay, we would definitely not bring you on board then if you're the one who did this. Do you think it drives him crazy that the most famous Firefest doc is the one he's not involved with?
Oh, yeah.
Like, there were two. Hulu did one that he was on, and Netflix did one where the guy was going to blow the guy for water. And everybody remembers the guy going to blow the guy for water.
Absolutely.
So he's probably like, it probably makes no sense to him. And if you asked him, he probably would go, no, that's actually not the more famous one at all. I'm on the famous one.
Has talked about music festival in the U.S. For 8 years now, so I think we've proven the ability to get attention around it. I think we've proven the concept. I just don't have the capital.
No, you've proven the ability because people are like, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this again.
But that's the concept.
And this guy's, they think to themselves like, oh, this guy's an idiot. That's why they're talking about it.
But the concept is to hustle everybody out of all their money. And if we can get that done again, that'd be huge for Firefest.
Yeah, more people talk about it than Coachella for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
But I mean, imagine the profit margins is what I'm saying. If you're paying thousands of dollars for a ticket and all you really got to do is cheese sandwiches and a couple of flights, like
Blink 182,
we get Blink 182 and
AB
snorkeling with Antonio Brown,
That does sound fun.
Would you do it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, me too.
Of course.
Of course.
I mean, we all know people that are so disconnected from reality like this, where there's nothing you could say where they go, oh, you know what, you're right.
Yep.
They're just living in this alternate universe.
Do you think he's convinced himself, like he believes this?
What he's saying, and you couldn't tell him otherwise.
No, there's no way to get through to him. And also, like, just the idea of, like, well, how many sessions does Antonio Brown have to do? Does he just have to snorkel all day long and every 30 minutes somebody new comes over? I mean, I know he's an athlete, but like at some point he's going to get tired of snorkeling. Like
and
you
those
can't.
little feet are going to be so pruned.
You sold all these tickets. Everybody wants to go snorkeling with AB.
People pissed that he doesn't want to snorkel anymore. They're like, "What the fuck? We paid for
We
it."
paid to go snorkeling. No, we have. It's going to be LT now. We got Lawrence Taylor to show up. We don't want to go snorkeling with Lawrence Taylor. We want Antonio Brown.
Infrastructure to make this happen on the biggest scale, and they don't have the ability to make people stand by their word.
Yeah.
And it's really easy for someone to say, "Oh, we don't know Billy," when things go bad. And so I need a bigger company to stand up who kind of has that backbone.
So would you say Firefest 2 didn't happen because your name was attached to it?
Yeah, I think Fire Festival 2 is facing headwinds because of
question.
me. And if the other company is the one who's front and center leading the charge, it's going to succeed.
You sold tickets to Firefest 2, correct?
Yeah, so all individual ticket buyers have been refunded.
Nice.
We still love to honor them in some way at Fire Festival too, but ultimately this is up to whoever buys
There'll probably be
it.
some kind of ceremony.
Everyone who put,
We're going to honor them in a ceremony for the original suckers.
For the OGs.
By the way, like every time we hear from Billy McFarland, he must walk around on the streets of New York nonstop.
He gets his steps in. I'm surprised Troy hasn't seen him.
I have seen him.
Troy has seen him.
I saw him on Bleecker Street.
Next time, run up to him screaming, trying to get his attention to get him on the show.
Next time I will.
Hey,
stop! Listen! Hey.
Next time, just get an impromptu interview with him.
Yeah.
I should.
Yeah.
money into Firefest 2 got their money back?
Yeah, all the ticket holders have been refunded.
At what point do you just try to find a normal job? Have you thought about that, or are you just too closely? Like, obviously, you're an entrepreneur. You want good intentions, but have you thought about just trying to get a normal job or applying for jobs?
So the last 2 years have really been focused on building Fire 2, and it was doing it honestly, and it was doing it to try to make the dream of Fire come alive, and doing it to pay restitution. So I've continued to pay restitution, and I think now we've proven the allure of the brand, right?
Yeah.
I think I've also proven that I can't control the media, and I can't stop people from going back on their word once the media goes live. But hopefully I can find a good buyer to actually make Fire Festival 2 happen, and that's my dream. That's the goal right now.
He is a great sales guy in the sense that he controls the conversation completely. Like, that has nothing to do with what Adam asked him.
Yes.
And instead, it's like, it just goes back to the branding message, branding message, branding message, branding message. Like, we could sit here for 8 minutes, we could sit here for 3 hours. You're never going to knock me off the game. I'm not going to say, this is what I'm going to tell you.
Well, that's why he was able to sell that credit card that didn't do anything.
That's right.
He was able to sell Firefest.
That's right.
Like, because he is...
And Jaw.
What?
Hey, we had Jaw,
Oh, yeah,
too.
yeah.
Don't forget he had Jaw.
But, like, as shitty as a person as he is...
What? You don't know him. Allegedly.
As allegedly shitty a person as he allegedly is...
Right.
He's a great salesman. You know?
Oh,
and he's proved that.
He's a hell of a salesman. Yeah.
And he convinced that guy.
And a good person.
To do, I forget what it was that he was going to do, but, you know.
And a cool dude.
I don't know if he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he is. Look how long his shirt sleeves are. That's how you could tell. Zucks did the same thing. He was a nerd, and then he got those T-shirts with the longer sleeves.
Yeah, that's a bummer for me.
And I was like, boom.
Longer sleeves, bro.
I guess so, yeah.
Boom. Now he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
It's important.
Want to keep listening?
I mean...
So much.
It just seems like it's the same thing over and over again.
There's no substance.
Right. But he hasn't found a buyer yet, huh?
No.
That's a shame.
No, they're evaluating offers.
That's a shame.
I mean, I assume we would have gotten a, thanks, but we're going in a different direction email. So
I would have thought, but we didn't.
Yeah, so that's why I think they're still evaluating offers.
You think anybody's beating 5,500?
I doubt it.
Hey, maybe we got Firefest.
It's a good chunk of change.
We can call it Not Sam Firefest.
You would keep the Firefest in the title.
I'd combine the brands.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Maybe switch it up. Maybe we go snorkeling with a wrestler.
Ooh, that would be great. If only George the Animal Steel were still with us.
Why him?
I just think it'd be great to go snorkeling with George the Animal Steel. Wouldn't you? Don't you think that'd be great?
100%.
Because, imagine if, you were underwater with him and somehow his tongue was still green.
I mean, I guess, but
People
maybe
would
he just
flip
licked
out.
some algae.
People would flip out because you'd think it would wash off, then you realize that this is real.
I would go snorkeling with, Bob Backlund.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I'd bring Bob Backlund on.
Okay.
For sure.
All right,
For
so
sure.
that's one guess. We can announce that.
If we accept the offer of 5,500. If
Yeah.
that's accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we would have Hot Dog do something.
Hot Dog would do some kind. I'd have Hot Dog learn a dance, and then Hot Dog would teach that dance. I think
That's fun.
probably a pole dance. Like BJ.
Like BJ.
Yeah. And
Yeah, but then he's going to get all the guests slick.
slick. Might have to talk about that. Hopefully, it would result in the exact same way.
Oh, you're catching up?
We're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there. By the way, we should take a break because we do have Edie Patterson on the show later today. Edie Patterson, of course, the icon from Righteous Gemstones. She plays Judy Gemstone, and this season has been absolutely tremendous. I'm very, very excited that she's going to be on the show because there's nothing better than Righteous Gemstones. Because we were doing the impression yesterday of Danny McBride going, Daddy? We were sitting at the dinner table last night, my family, and I started trying to get my son to go, Daddy, would you pass it? And my wife starts laughing, and then he starts laughing, going, Daddy! I did it without the cursing, though, so it wasn't fully, the same charm wasn't quite there, but it was great. So Edie Patterson on the show, and yes, I promised you guys yesterday that I would talk to you guys about my new favorite TikTok prank. It's a constant evolution. You want to know about it when we get back?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about it when we get back. Stay right there.
We'll be right back with Sam Roberts Show.
Always farming, Lord Montes, it's still fire.
We're back with Sam Roberts Show.
For this part, it was just you turn on Road Rash. But in Road Rash, it was like that first game where you were racing motorcycles, but you could hit the guy next to you with a pole or a chain or something like that. That's cool. It was really sick.
And you love hitting guys with poles. Right, Troy?
That's right.
Honestly, that was a good one.
Travis is on fire today.
Well, I wish.
Now you!
Got your back. Welcome back. Sam Roberts Show.
One good turn deserves another.
Oh, you bet it does. Hey, you see that I was looking during the break? You see they dropped the trailer for Smashing Machine?
I did.
No system in place to make sure that they stay healthy. There's no retirement system. There's nothing. It's the very beginning of all of this. Plus, it's A24, and Benny Safdie did it. And, the run from, what was it, Good Times, I believe, that he did before.
The show?
No, not the show Good Times. It was good. I think it's Good Time. They did before Uncut Gems, obviously. Then he did
Good Time. Yep.
Good Time, yeah.
Right.
Good Time is unbelievable. Anybody that hasn't seen Good Time?
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Robert Pattinson is in it. He's great. So it's Good Time.
You know Batman?
Yep. Okay. A Good Time, and then Uncut Gems, unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And then The Curse, which was unbelievable.
Stop saying that word.
And now
it loses its meaning.
No, it doesn't, because all these things are unbelievable. This guy, Benny Safdie, is unreal. Okay? I could say in front of a lot of words. He's just untypical, I'll say. I mean, he's amazing. He's amazing what he does. It's really gay. And the performances that he gets out of people, right? Robert Pattinson was kind of just coming out of that sort of Twilight era, that kind of heartthrob guy, and he plays this totally different character in Good Time, which was so good. And then the next thing
I'm gonna watch this.
Is Uncut Gems, which has Adam Sandler, totally different from anything you've seen Adam Sandler do before, and shows the world what this guy's capable of. Same with Robert. And now I'm watching this trailer, and you can already see, Rock is acting his ass off in this movie. This is not a get the wrestler to play the fighter type of movie. This is a real, because it's I don't know, it feels like everything Benny Safdie's done before, which is this sort of raw, deeply personal story. And when you watch this trailer already, there's little elements of Rocky in there, it feels like you're rooting for him, but then also a lot of Raging Bull, where you realize how in order to get those moments of glory, how sad it gets. And also, the shape that The Rock got in for this is insane. Look at him. He's humongous in this thing. Is that The Rock? That's not The Rock. I think that's Baz Rutten, maybe. But if you look at the scenes of The Rock as Mark Kerr, he's look how massive he is.
He's jacked.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I think it comes out in October, but they literally just dropped the trailer.
Oh, Good Time's not available anywhere.
And I think it might be on Max or something.
It's on Cinemax.
Whatever, you'll find it.
Skinamax.
Nice.
I was checking on Dubin Plus, but it's not on there.
But it looks, I mean...
Yeah,
so
I'll check.
Even that scene, like, right there that we're looking at right there, just the idea of, like, as big as we know the UFC is now, the idea that he's having, like, this dude is having these professional fights, and he's, like, just destroying his body, destroying other people, and he's just in this, like, small room at a casino. Like, that's such a wild era of the UFC and what these guys did. Yeah, and Emily Blunt is in there with him.
Well,
I can't wait
they're
for this thing.
Contractually obligated to do everything together.
I would. If I had that kind of chemistry with somebody, I don't have that kind of chemistry with anybody.
What?
Nobody.
Come on. I think you and Troy are kind of the same.
Yeah, but we're more
Rock
like
and Emily Blunt.
We're more like a buddy comedy.
No, I think there's some sexual chemistry. Like
every buddy comedy has a little bit of that. Like, will they, won't they?
Yeah, that was my favorite part of Lethal Weapon.
yeah. Danny Glover. Will they, won't they? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. So I can't wait for this thing. Watch the trailer.
That'll be great.
Yeah, watch the trailer. It just dropped, and I just saw it like popping up on all my feeds and everything. But it's it looks badass. Jesse in Philly. What's up, Jesse?
Hey, if you're talking about Mark Kerr still, Hey, Sam. Mark Kerr is from Syracuse University and was a national wrestling champion, just making the connection between
I love that
Syracuse University graduates and Mark Kerr.
Bro, now you're talking about Dwayne Johnson. Now you're talking about Benny Safdie. Now you're talking about a Syracuse story. I mean, I'm all over this. Yeah, Division I champion at 190 pounds, All-American 1992, defeating Randy Couture in the final, which is a wild thing because, thank you, Jesse. And, I mean, I'm not even going to comment on Troy's spelling of Syracuse.
I'm sorry.
Hang up.
I mean, that's nuts.
Don't hang up.
Okay. Yeah, okay, you saw it. Okay.
I was trying to get the call up quick for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you know what? You're doing a good job.
I figured you'd understand what I was trying to say.
I did. I got it. You did
get
good.
the gist
You
of
did
it.
good.
Yeah.
But listen to this.
Nitpicking.
Listen to this. He defeats Randy Couture in the finals. And then he came in second in 1992 at the World Cup ahead of Kurt Angle. And you wonder, and that's why I can't wait to see this movie. And then he missed out on the 1996 Olympics losing to Kurt Angle. And that's when he decides to focus on MMA. Like, I know that there's a documentary about him that I have not seen about Mark Kerr, but like, I wonder how much of it is decision making on his part and how much of it is just that timing. Because there is, up until in 1992, there was really not this path for an Olympic level wrestler to take this to a place where like you could make money, you could become famous. Like, there wasn't that thing. Like, pro wrestling was not really a place for Olympic wrestlers, really. And MMA was not a profitable thing. So what did you do? You just ended up kind of, I guess, training other wrestlers and trying to make money that way. So you wonder if it's because of decisions they made, it's because of timing, or both, that like he didn't become, because Randy Couture was able to maintain. I mean, he got big in the UFC a little bit later in life, like later than you would expect, but like just as UFC was getting big, just as UFC was really popping off, Randy Couture, he was in that like Chuck Liddell era where he had those last couple of years. Like Randy Couture fought Brock, I believe. So like he had those last couple of years for him were when UFC was really starting to get big, but Kerr didn't have that at all. So yeah, I think it's a really cool thing, and also just the idea of early UFC MMA being looked at, like enough time has finally passed that we can go, hey, this is now a household thing. Like this is the era when states were actively trying to get this thing banned, and they were calling it like human cockfighting, and that it was like a terrible thing. Now it's like this legit sport. It's
and you just see the videos of Blockbuster.
right, and you go, oh my god.
That's how
And
I
you sneak
figured
them.
out. That's how I learned about UFC.
Right, it had like UFC 3. Because like a lot of pay-per-view providers, you couldn't even get it because it wasn't legal in your state.
Mm-hmm.
And like you feel like you were watching something that your parents didn't want you to watch.
Yeah, it was behind the curtain.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was behind the curtain. I don't know what you were picking up, but
Maybe those were other.
yeah, that was a different deal.
Yeah,
but
with men.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait to see this movie. I don't know how I'm going to wait till October.
You're gonna have to.
I sometimes wish these trailers wouldn't come out until like 3 weeks before because I get so excited about it. But yeah, I can't wait to see it. And I love that The Rock is like going into like A24 and Benny Safdie stuff, and then the next thing is he's going to start working on this Scorsese movie, which is I like that he's flexing those acting chops a little bit, which I'm very much looking forward to see. I'll tell you what else I like seeing.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do. You know, I've turned you on to a lot of... I like to see what these kids are doing.
Yeah.
The TikTok pranks, right? I told you about the good boy prank. Good boy.
Yes.
When they go, they, ask somebody, a service person at a store to do something. And they say, good boy. I like that prank. I like when they go into a store and there's a bunch of them and they scream from various directions of the store, and they can just confuse the workers until the workers start screaming, everybody get out! I like that one. I like, hey, my brother is locked in the bathroom stall. Can you get under there and help him? And it's just a total stranger in there.
That's maybe my favorite one.
That's a really great one.
Yeah.
Because you're fucking with other people.
That's right. That's funny.
I love that.
I don't know if I've shown you guys this one. We don't have to explore it too much, but there's a real funny one where they go to like an awkward-looking kid that works at the store, and they go, hey, I have a friend who needs help over here. Can you help me find something? And they go, yeah, sure. And they walk over to a strange girl, and they just walk up to the girl and go, excuse me, my friend over here, he thinks that you're pretty cute, was asking for your number. Like, that's a funny one.
That's funny.
Yeah, you showed us that one.
Okay, good. I'm glad
And
I showed.
those were very funny.
Really funny. But I want you, I think it'll come up. And like I said yesterday, this is featuring the music of Fetty Wap, which as soon as I said that, you're like, oh, I'm interested.
That's a tease.
Right. I want you to look up No Door, No Problem.
Okay.
It's a drive-through prank.
Okay.
No door, no problem. And it is not explained. You might have to find it just on TikTok.
Okay.
No doors, no problem. Okay. And there's a ton of them. I mean, I watch them regularly. I was just literally just watching them over the weekend.
All right. You got to give me a minute because you didn't prepare me ahead.
No, well, I didn't want you to see it. I didn't want you to see it before we did it. I wonder if it says no results found. I wonder if they're trying to hide it.
I got to log in.
What a pain in the ass.
I know.
Right?
I know. They should have banned this thing.
Give me a second.
I'll give you as much time. No door, no problem. You have any idea?
And they said this is a drive-through.
It's a drive-through. You got to do it at a drive-through fast food establishment.
I don't know.
Yep. And look, nobody really gets hurt in this one. It's an okay. This is.
I haven't watched it.
This is it. Okay. Do you want to watch it cold before I explain to you what's going on?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if you think this is funny.
Do you think that's the way to do it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
No door, 17, no problem.
Le no door, no problem,
Oh, this is
c'est un
an
challenge.
explanation. Get out of there. This is a stupid French thing.
Okay. I see what we're doing.
Okay. So the way. Oh yeah, that looks like a good one.
Yep. This is only 30 seconds. Okay.
You hear the sound playing? Hi, sir. No door, no problem.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
No door, no problem. Oh, c'est gras ici. Les gars, nettoyez. C'est gras.
Okay, so now that you know, you gotta find these because there are people who like go all the way with it. Get on TikTok now and find them because there's so many good ones. The idea is that you walk right up to a drive-thru, and it's even better when somebody's getting an order.
Yeah.
Because you walk in front of the car, in between the car and the window, and you just look at the window and go, "No doors, no problem." And you have a portable speaker playing Fetty Wap. and you jump in the window, and most of the employees are going, "You can't do this, you can't do this." And then a lot of times you'll sing along. I'm like, "Say what's up, hello," and you're just like dancing, and you throw a party. And sometimes you get your friend to come in through the door, and while all the employees are trying to get you away because you just jumped in the window, they walk around the counter, and then they also join the party, and you guys just like play Fetty Wap and dance behind the counter of the fast food place.
So much fun.
It's so fun.
I'll tell you something. They are knocking these videos down.
Why?
A lot of the links I'm clicking straight off Google are showing video can't be found.
Why? Everybody's having a good time. No doors, no problem. Yeah, there you go. Look at all those.
Yo, no doors, no problem. Yo, I'm hungry, bro. Hungry fucking chicken.
And this is, see,
Oh my God.
Yo, just put the fries in the bag. Just
Put the fries in the
for
bag.
Jeff Boy.
Put the fries in the bag. See, they're having a party.
This is so bad.
It's so, I mean,
Got your phone. Put the fries in the bag. Put the fries. We gotta get out. Yo, come on, bro. I can't.
oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Yeah. See, this is.
I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello.
No doors, no problem.
I just wanna chill.
That's a Starbucks. That's not even.
Good. Can I get a snap? What's up? Can you put the fries in the bag? Can you put the fries in the bag?
They don't serve fries at Starbucks.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is great, isn't it?
Great. It's great.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yo, my bad. I gotta handle business.
I gotta handle it.
17:30.
Oh, it's
you fucked up.
17:30. Hey. I'm like, hey, hello, what's up?
They push him right out.
Yo, my bad. I gotta handle business.
So the guy tried to get in, and his speaker went out. You can't go through the window if the portable speaker goes out.
Yeah.
If there's no Fetty Wap, you can't do it.
Right.
You have to have Fetty Wap on.
No doors?
Hey!
No doors, no problem. Hey, what's up? Hello. She's so pretty. Let him cook now. I just wanna chill. Got a second us to roll. No doors, no problem.
And then you ask them to put the fries in the bag. I mean, it's so.
These poor workers.
It's poor workers. It's so antisocial.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why there's a disconnect with younger people and the way you just like interact with other human beings, because like they're able to, as long as there's a phone on them, like all these pranks, as long as there's a phone or a camera pointing at you,
Real life.
it's not real life, and you're interacting with real human beings. Going, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And they don't exist. They're just NPCs as far as you're concerned.
You just keep singing Fetty Wap.
Yeah, you just sing Fetty Wap. You say, no doors, no problem. Put the fries in the bag. Good boy. Like, you just say the things that you've heard on TikTok over and over again, and it's all good.
Yeah, you just want the video. That's the most important part.
I mean, bro, I was having a dine-in experience at Dunkin' Donuts, and these kids walk in, and I'm listening to them talk, because, you know, the tables are close together. And this kid, they're just like sitting there, right? And they're drinking their waters or whatever. And this one kid who kind of felt like the not as cool kid as the other kids, but they let him hang out. He goes, yo, should I go tell people that they got a free car? And they're like, what?
Huh?
And he goes, you know, like, you get a free car, you get a free car. And they're like,
no, Cheyenne.
Yeah, exactly. That was the vibe. That was the vibe
Sit
big.
down.
That was the vibe big. They're like, I don't know, man. I don't know what you're talking about. And then like 3 minutes pass, and he goes, I'm gonna go do it. And he leaves Dunkin'. And like I go, what a weird thing. And on my way out, I just see this guy failing with his phone up, trying to do a "you get a free car, you get a free car" thing. Nobody
You know
cared.
it's not gonna work.
Nobody cared. Nobody was giving him the time of day. There was no. I was like, this must be the worst video of all time.
What do you mean I get a free car? What are you talking?
What are you talking about? I mean, this is, you get a free car. What
by
are we,
yourself.
It's 10 years ago. What are you talking about? Oprah doesn't even have a show anymore. But it was like it was just like this example of like they're bored. And by the way, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, you have nothing better to do.
Yeah, that's right. If you're having a dine-in experience, it's early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
Charging your phone
wirelessly.
Yeah. apparently.
Yeah.
Allegedly, as you say.
Well, like I said, that is a legend. Yeah, look at the second row of No Doors, No Problem. The one that says it's the best.
Oh, best doors.
Yeah.
No problem.
Check this.
No doors, no problem. Yo, what's good? Hold on. Just put the fries in the bag, bro. Just put the fries in the bag. Hey.
You can tell which workers know what
Right, see, that's the other fun thing. Hit pause for a moment.
is going on.
Like, there are times where you watch this and, like, the workers, because it's fast food, right? It's not like this is careers.
Right.
The managers get pissed, but a lot of times the workers are like, okay. Like, whoever the worker is that's working the drive-through window, they just step aside and they smile. They're like, hey, welcome in.
Yeah, because a lot of the times the workers, or at least when I was working at Burger King, like, they're the same age as you.
Spitting in the onion rings?
Spitting in the onion rings.
Oh, boy.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't care.
But the managers take it so seriously.
Of course, because, you know.
Because they've failed at life and they're a manager at Burger King.
One day maybe they'll be a franchisee.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe they'll be the CEO.
Not the managers I worked for.
Oh, no?
No.
But, I mean, yeah, think about it. If you're sitting there making, you know, $9 an hour at McDonald's,
It's
like,
just a fucking job.
if anything, you're like, oh, this is so fucking great. Like, something happened today. Something happened. Other than...
They don't care if you're touching the fries?
No. Other than some lady going, I asked for 2 barbecue sauces. There's only 1 barbecue sauce. Like, you have to deal with that all day long. Finally, you get to put the fries in the bag. You get a Fetty Wap. You get something. It's exciting. You get to go home and tell your friends, yeah, we got a no doors, no problem situation at work today. It was great.
No problem. Yo, what's good? Yo, hold on. Put the fries in the bag, bro. Just put the fries in the bag. Wait, just put the fries in the bag. Put the fries in the bag. Yeah.
She's like, okay.
I'm sorry, don't mind me. No doors.
Don't mind me.
What's good? Hold on, what's good? I'm like, hey, what's the hello? You go pretty ass soon as you came in the door.
See, this guy's a pro.
Yeah.
This is how you're supposed to do it.
You just keep going.
He's very
Yeah.
confident.
Married to the money.
Those are all the words.
All the words. It's Fetty Wap.
Damn.
It's also great because, like, hit pause. For these kids doing that, like, this is an old song.
Yeah.
This is not like they're not listening to a song that they enjoy right now. It's like funny that they have this like song from years ago.
Yeah. It's probably, I'd say, almost close to 10 years ago
Right.
the song came out.
Right. Like they're listening to it ironically.
Right.
Yo, hey, all right, good talk.
I also love too that the vibe is very much like, yo, why are you guys so mad? We're just like,
Yeah, we're having
what's the
fun.
big
we're
deal?
partying. It's no doors, no problem. Like, we're just hanging. I got this Fetty Wap speaker. I've seen one where the guy goes in from the front and has a giant speaker on wheels.
Oh,
like one of those
that's great.
speakers that you like
Yes.
roll like roller luggage.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so funny.
17:30. No doors, no problem. What's good?
What you doing, bro?
I just wanna chill. Put the fries in the back. You can get the money.
They don't like it.
Don't know about it, bro.
What you gonna do about it?
Oh, yeah, he's gonna.
Okay. No doors, no problem. Yo, 38. Hey, I'm like, hey, what's hold on. I need this, bro.
I need this. See that guy. See that guy. This is a great thing. That guy. We have a guy in like a toga or something. A large rotund man in a toga.
That guy is central casting from a 90s college movie.
Well, he came in on the other side. So, like, while all the people are distracted by no doors, no problem, you get the other guy to come in a ridiculous outfit. He comes in through the front because the cashier is going, there's chaos because some guy just jumped through the window. And while nobody's there, then the other guy in a sandwich costume or whatever he's wearing can just show up and be like, hey, I need this.
I noticed that there's a checklist, a 5-point checklist. You put
I think
the
these
fries
are
in
the
the
five
bag.
best.
Oh, gotcha. Well, number 3 is pressed by the Y ends.
Right, well, that guy got pressed.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Remember?
saying?
I did. Yeah.
He said, what are you going to do about it?
Oh, and I see number 2, the guy's dressed as Patrick from SpongeBob. That's what the outfit is.
Oh.
That's who he is. So he's like,
In
put
the
on
toga?
Yeah. That's a Patrick outfit. So he goes, put on the Patrick outfit. and then get on in there.
Contact the police! I need this, bro. Take it, bro.
Yeah, that's Patrick.
He looks like he would hover his butt cheeks over a freshman's nose and fart.
He does.
See my truck?
Oh no, there's Pat. Wait. That guy was wearing a dress. And then if you look in the background, see, there's Patrick in the background. There is a Patrick. So they flash mobbed the whole restaurant. This was a Bojangles.
Whoa. I'm sorry. No doors? No problem. Yo! What's good? I'm like, hey,
they're kind of having fun.
Yeah, they do.
Let me see this.
Wait. You gotta work at one of these restaurants and you hear Fetty Wap and you're like, oh no, here we go.
I'd be psyched. I go, oh my God, it's happening. I'm like, say what's up, hello.
Whoa! Married to the money. What are you doing?
He's throwing out people's orders. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, that's what I've been.
I love it.
Kind of obsessed with right now.
I get it. That's really funny.
No doors, no problem. These kids are creative. They keep coming up with pranks.
Just when you think that's all done, they figured out all the pranks.
Right.
They come up with something new.
And they don't hurt anybody. And if anything, they're entertaining. If you work at most of these jobs, they're entertaining. The Target pranks, these are entertaining pranks. Screaming from one end to the other. The managers get pissed off, but the people who work in the store have a great time doing it. Plus, if you're a worker and your manager's getting pissed off, like if somebody came in here and was causing chaos, and McClure came downstairs and he was all like, get out of here, I'm going to call the police. We'd all be having the time of our lives. Like look how pissed he is.
Yeah,
this is
that's
great.
funny.
There's all this chaos going on. This dude's pissed. What could be better?
I wish we could transport like young Sam Roberts to now to make you like a one of these kids and just be like, Sam, we need you to come up with pranks.
Right.
Because you'd be the idea guy.
Right. I wouldn't do them.
You wouldn't do them. But you'd be like, here, I got a funny one.
Here's what we should do. I'd probably tell the guy who kept having funerals for the guy who was gooning. I'd probably be like, chill with that.
Yeah,
like
ease up on
it's
that one.
it's too much. You're doing it too much.
Yeah. You want like harmless pranks.
Because you don't want to hurt anybody.
You don't want
You don't want to ruin lives. You just want to have a great time. And that's the whole vibe of this. It's no doors, no problem.
No doors, no problem.
So the idea is like it's like no problem. It's like don't worry, be happy. Like
unless there's like a second chance violent felon working the fryolator and you get him on a bad day and he hits you with hot grease in the face.
I mean that seems like a really specific.
Could happen.
It could happen.
It could. I'm not saying it couldn't happen.
I would imagine that the fast food industry is ripe with opportunities for that.
I mean, I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot of these, but it could.
The mainstream media might be covering it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. They usually don't cover this on.
I don't know. It's video.
You haven't seen this on
MSNBC.
CBS Evening News?
No. I'm too busy watching Bill Belichick.
They're
videos
soft on
that.
crime.
Yeah, this is crime. I'm too busy watching Bill Belichick videos on that. They say that Bill Belichick's friends and family are reaching out.
No, he's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah. So what? She's taking all the money. Big deal.
She's also taken all the control, so she should have all the money. Yeah. By the way, speaking of like fast food and stuff like that,
hell yeah.
So last night I'm doing the Raw Recap podcast for WWE.
Nice.
And we had Logan Paul on.
Oh.
Great guest, right?
Yeah.
And first of all, it was the most Logan Paul interview. It was a Zoom call because on that show we literally like do interviews with people immediately after Raw. So like they get done doing something, they get on the line with us. So usually it's from like backstage or whatever. But this time it was Logan Paul in his car and then walking out of the car onto his private plane.
That's awesome.
And then sitting down on his private plane and doing it from there. And I'm like, this is the most Logan Paul thing ever. But he blew my mind with a move that I've never seen done before. And I think it's a total game changer. And I don't know. I had to point it out to him as I was talking to him because I'm like, I'm distracted. I don't even want to talk about wrestling anymore. And that takes a lot. I'm distracted by what I just saw.
Is this the first time you talked to Logan?
Yeah, I mean, I said hello, but yeah,
right,
yeah.
But like
first time I've interviewed him. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and he was actually really good.
That's good.
I was kind of wanting him to be terrible so I could complain about him and talk about what a schmuck he is, but he was actually good. He gets on his private plane. And the first thing he's got, of course, is what is it, like the Lunchly? Is that what his Lunchables are called?
I don't know.
I think, I think he had a Lunchly that he just eats for himself as a snack. Like he got Lunchly. It's a pizza Lunchly. They're like the Lunchables that Logan Paul and Mr. Beast are making with the Prime in it and everything. So he pulls out this Lunchly, and while we're talking to him, he starts making the pizza in the Lunchly. Okay? And like I'm seeing him, he's literally ripping open the tomato sauce packet and like spreading it on the pizza bread, and then I see him take a piece of pepperoni, and he starts like kind of wiping. And I'm like, as we're talking about wrestling, I'm like, what the hell is he doing? It's very much like a Lunchable if you grew up with Lunchables, and, Lunchable pizza was always the best thing. Mm-hmm. But they had like almost like a cracker-type pizza crust.
Yeah.
And then they had the little packet of tomato sauce, and then they had like 2-3 pepperonis and some cheese to sprinkle on top. But he hadn't sprinkled the cheese on. Okay. And I go, is he like soaking the pepperoni in the tomato sauce? Is he just like some weird guy that likes tomato sauce that much? And then I realized what he was doing. Mm-hmm. He squeezed the tomato sauce on the crust.
Okay.
And then he used the pepperoni to evenly spread the tomato sauce on the crust.
Smart.
And I went, that's the most ingenious thing I've ever seen. I can't believe in all my years on this planet, I never thought of that. I've never seen it done.
Well, why would you? How often are you eating pizza Lunchables and Lunchleys?
Back in the day?
Yeah.
Lunchables were the shit. I don't know if I was eating. Somebody was eating them all the time.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That was like 20, 30 years ago.
But nobody all the time. All that time. Throughout my whole schooling career. I had never seen anybody spread the tomato sauce with a pepperoni. And maybe I don't eat Lunchables or Lunchleys every day now, but I think about them a lot.
Yeah, it's not because you don't want to.
Right. I just go, the optics on this.
Think about it.
Optics I can't do.
Yeah, but if you're at home alone.
And by the way, he did say, I said, you're having yourself a Lunchly for a snack. And he said, yeah, bro. And he looked at the side. It's like 12 grams of protein in here.
There you go.
So I was like, okay, maybe I should get a Lunchly. But I've thought about Lunchables and Lunchleys quite a bit. And the idea of spreading the tomato sauce with the pepperoni is something that I never saw any friend do it. Because you pay attention. When your friend whips out a Lunchly or a Lunchable back in the day, you'd be like, yo, your mom loves you. My mom is sitting there literally making lunch, putting it in a paper bag. But the kid.
And then if you whipped out a Lunchable with the Capri Sun and the dessert.
Oh, your mom loves you.
It's like, oh, they live in a mansion.
Yeah. You must be a celebrity. Yeah. You must be a child star or something. Are you on that show, Different Strokes? You are amazing. But I watched this happen, and it was one of those, like, I can't believe. You know what it was? What? A life hack. That's what I would consider this.
I feel like that was a life hack.
It was a life hack, and I'll tell you why. Because now, I am going to find these Lunchleys. They sell out everywhere, but I am going to find these Lunchleys. Because my kid, he loves his Prime. He loves all the Logan Paul YouTube products. He loves them all. Feastables in there. He loves the Feastables. But I'm going to get one of these for him, and I'm going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him I learned it from Logan Paul. I'm going to act like I knew it, and I'm going to say, you know what you can do?
You're going to take credit.
100%. I'm going to take all the credit on it.
Wow. And you should.
Thank you.
You think he should?
It's your kid.
I should. And because I think my kid would look at me going like, oh my God.
I feel like it's stolen valor.
Well, so be it. I'm okay with stolen valor. In all forms.
All right.
I'm going to go, I want it, because he looks at me now, he's like, I know my dad is like rad. You know, that's what he says.
He does?
Yeah, I know he's a cool dude, but I didn't know he was a genius on that level. I never would have thought. And I feel like when I teach him, I'm going to do it in front of my wife. So that way my wife goes, oh my gosh, I'm sure she didn't know. Mm-hmm. Her whole schooling career of Lunchables, I'm sure she never thought of it either. And she's going to see me going like, you know what you can do with the pepperoni spread? She's going to go like this. Oh my God, did you? I go, yeah, I've known that forever. I thought of it at a young age is what I'll say. Smart, right?
Your perception might be a little off, though.
Yeah, I think you're going to be severely disappointed.
Because go ahead. You have almost 40 years of living this way and not knowing this till now, where your kid only has a couple years of not knowing this. Maybe this is just like,
oh, this is
cool. This is just how you do it.
This is just how you do it.
Well, then I'll hope his friends are impressed.
You're going to invite his friends over.
Well, no, because I don't want it to seem set up. That's a great question.
Why don't you save it for a birthday party and give everybody
Lunchleys for everybody?
And then say, now wait.
Well, then, you know why I can't do that? because then he'll get picked on because everybody will think he's like the wealthy child because we have it's a lunchly party.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, of course, lunchlies are the coolest shit.
If it's his birthday party and you
I thought
can't
snack
out.
packs were the coolest.
Snack packs were at one point the coolest. But I only give those out when I want one to help me shave my armpits. No, I think the move is going to be, because I don't like anything to seem like a setup, right? I like it to happen organically, or at least seem like it's happening organically. So I'm going to teach him how to do it. My wife is going to blow her mind. She's going to be so impressed.
She could care less.
You think so?
Yes.
She doesn't give a shit.
What?
She doesn't give a shit. She won't even eat at Hooters. You think she's going to think it's cool that you're spreading your lunchly sauce with the pepperoni?
I would think so, but when you say it like that, I mean, you contextualizing it like that does make me question it.
She probably thinks it's dumb that you have lunchlies.
Yeah, she's got so much more
You're a
important things to
grown-ass
worry about.
man. What do you eat these for?
Yeah.
Right, she's making some kind of weird avocado, sea salt, natural bread
Yeah,
toast.
healthy snack.
Yeah. And you're like eating children's food.
Right. I'm like, this is a mini bottle of Prime I'm drinking. I've got this mini Prime that I'm sipping on right now. Okay, so maybe she won't be impressed either.
No, I can't see her.
I have to be prepared for that as well. I'm glad you brought that to
Yeah,
the
I'm glad
table.
you're running this past us first.
Yeah. Because so my thought was that she was going to be impressed. Maybe she won't be. But at the very least, I'll teach my son how to do it.
Okay.
Then he'll go to school. Anybody that's had a lunchly before will go, I never thought of that. And then he'll say, my dad taught me.
That's the move.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
and then-
move is
okay.
to
Okay.
set your children up for success.
For success.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they'll know I'm successful because of the lessons father taught me.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it makes the kid cooler.
So don't specifically wait for my wife to be in the room so she can see it.
I would just skip the whole wife part.
Now, I don't think she's going to care at all.
She was
I
not
thought
gonna
I'd get
shit.
I thought I'd get laid.
She would.
That's not the way to do it.
The throes of passion.
I thought so. But if that's not the way to do it, that's not the way to do it. Okay, then I won't. Then I won't. But you think my other plan will work.
It'll work because you'll look cool in front of your kid.
Right.
And then when your kid goes to school, it's the ultimate, like, hey, I'm going to show you something.
Right. Because the other kids will be like, oh, shit.
Yeah, like...
I've been trying to squeeze with the packet and get it all evened out on there.
And he's like, no.
Yeah.
See, that's the move.
That's a great call.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I'm going to do it. Yeah.
I want to try these. Are they good? Lunchlies?
They're the best.
I mean,
look.
Yeah.
it's fake pizza in a box.
Well,
You don't heat it, right? It's just...
No, you just eat it right there.
Ready to
You
eat.
pop it open, boom, boom, boom.
I'm going to try these.
Logan Paul, I saw him eating it. He seemed to be having time of his life.
Lunch location.
I mean, he was on a private plane too, so maybe the vibe.
Yeah.
But you want to try it? You're going to try a
We're in
lunchly?
Union Square.
There you go. They're at all Targets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I get some?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to get him for the show?
Should I?
I'd love that.
Can we expense it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
And you get that mini Prime too. Don't forget.
You get
And the
pizza,
mini.
Fiesta nachos, or turkey stack-ups.
I did always love that, like, because these are like similar to Lunchables, and like there were like the what's the middle one called, the Fiesta Nachos. You would have those, and you'd look at them, and it was literally like
not lunch.
you were sending your kid to school with a high sugar fruit juice, a dessert, and the main course was small tortilla chips and cheese dip. And it's like, what are you having for lunch? Oh, I'm having tortilla chips and cheese dip for lunch, and then I'll have a dessert after that and some sugary juice.
Like, oh, your parents aren't home, huh?
Yeah. But at the time, again, if you brought that in, you go like, oh man, you have the best parents ever.
Well, do you remember, my parents would buy me the little crackers in a pack, and then it would be the block of cheese that you had the little scooper thing.
Sure.
Like, that was, like, when you had that was a flex.
That was a flex.
Yeah. It was just crackers and cheese.
Anything that was packaged, processed,
Yes.
it was all like, you're the fucking man for that. You're the man. And I pull out mine. I'm like, this is a fresh sandwich that was made. People would be
That's
like,
dumb.
You suck.
Yeah, you suck.
That's what I had, too.
Yeah, no. People don't like that. And even
And I
the
think
other,
I had that all the way up to, like, high school. Until finally I was like,
Bagged
I
lunch.
need to buy lunch.
I need to buy the disgusting food. I'm being mocked.
Yeah.
I'm being mocked for my actually good lunch.
Like, I really need to eat Chipwiches.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
You don't understand. Look, I like having a complete and full lunch. I'm getting bullied.
Yeah.
I need to just buy ice cream and pretzel rods. You need to give me money. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to buy ice cream and pretzel rods with the money, and that's going to be my lunch. But it's the only way to survive. It's the only way to survive in a public school.
Because you can't be bringing your lunch in high school.
No.
Not back then.
No.
Unless it was like McDonald's.
Oh, then you're the man. Because you know what that probably means? You left campus.
Yeah.
You left school to go get
Especially
McDonald's.
if you weren't allowed to.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Because we were not allowed to leave. I had friends who went to schools where you could go off campus to go get lunch. But if you came back, if I saw you in class with a McDonald's cup, I knew you were the fucking man.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
And that would be the flex, to just show up to class with the McDonald's cup. Like, no, I got to supersize.
Because then the teacher also knows what you did but can't prove it.
No.
Left, and you probably smoked a cigarette while you're out.
Sure.
Oh, for sure. You stink like tobacco when you get back.
Sometimes a marijuana cigarette.
Oh, wow. That is possible. And it wasn't even good marijuana back then.
no,
it was actually very bad.
Garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, but you would. And you go like, no, I brought this McDonald's cup from home. I brought this fountain McDonald's soda from home. And they're like, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Still have ice in it.
Yeah, I know.
You can't do that anymore.
Leave school?
No.
Oh, I'm sure in some places.
No. Well, I mean, if you're allowed to, but like most places, they do not allow you to leave because it's security. It's a security issue.
I told you
all the doors are locked. You can't get back in.
I told you there's a school by me that is an open campus that
That's
people
crazy.
are allowed to come and go. Well, it's the Bestchester, you know. It's paradise on earth.
Sounds like it.
But there's a McDonald's right by the school.
Oh, that's nice.
And I went in, and I didn't know this was happening until I went in one day for a nice dine-in lunch by myself.
Oh, boy.
You are so weird.
I get it.
You know, you need to take a load off.
Yeah. You just want quiet, you want to eat.
And they have a beautiful sitting area. You know, it's not in New York City. I wouldn't dine in a New York City McDonald's.
Right, you
you
get
know.
robbed.
You get robbed. A rat's gonna crawl up the leg of your pants.
Somebody shitting in the corner.
But you've been in Westchester. You dine in a McDonald's there.
I'm sure it's as lovely.
You
as
leave
beautiful.
your house,
Yeah, go ahead.
go to McDonald's,
Yeah,
dine in,
yeah.
and then go back home. Are your kids at home?
No.
So you could dine at home.
I mean,
I get it though.
I could, but you need to take a load off.
You want the
You
experience.
can take the load off at home.
No. You need the experience because when you eat in at McDonald's now, you get a placard and you put it on your table and they bring you your food.
No.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Do they really? I mean, I haven't
100%.
dined in a McDonald's in a very long time.
You should. It's a great experience. You don't know what you're missing.
And that's maximum freshness.
It is maximum
It is.
freshness.
That's very key.
It's hot out of the oven.
That is key. It is as good as it's going to get right then and there.
Yeah, and you can collect your thoughts, you know?
I hear you, man. It is nice dining in.
But yeah, so I'm dining in, right? And it's like just about lunchtime. It's early lunchtime. And all of a sudden they start moving the garbage cans and stuff. So the seating area gets quarantined off, and I realized that this McDonald's completely shuts down the seating area because at high school lunchtime they just get bombarded with high school kids that just all come in, and like literally there are staffers that are standing on guard. Going no
doors?
Yeah, and I go, geez, this feels a little antisocial. I wonder why, like.
And you hear Fetty Wap, and you're like, oh, I know what's going on.
And then now I watch these TikTok pranks, and I go, no wonder. Like, they're on guard. They're like, buy the food and get out. Because they know somebody's going to be screaming, put the fries in the bag.
There's a McDonald's in Brooklyn. I think it's 18 and over. Like, you have to show ID to get in because they're having so many problems with kids.
Okay, this is a good question. Super Agent Tony Burton chimes in. He says, I was golfing with a friend last week, probably a highfalutin exec. And he was eating an Uncrustables while we played. I didn't know we could still do that. And that is the other thing, too, that when you look at somebody, you don't normally think, oh, that's disgusting. Why would you do that? You think, are we allowed to do that? But I think Uncrustables are very much on the table.
I'll tell you something right now. The young athletes, like in their rookie season
my God.
or 2 years in, love Uncrustables.
Yeah, didn't they say like the NFL budget for Uncrustables is like through the roof?
Yeah, they give you snacks on the way in at halftime.
Uncrustables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love Uncrustables.
They're the best.
I think we reached a point a couple years ago where everybody decided it's okay at any age to eat Uncrustables.
I think
because
so,
I know
too.
a lot of adults that eat Uncrustables.
They're really great.
Yeah.
They're amazing. Like anytime, like I'll track down. 7-Eleven has their own brand of Uncrustables. Cannot go into 7-Eleven without picking up a couple Uncrustables.
Really?
Cannot do it. Cannot do it. Sometimes
no self-control.
I don't. I love these Uncrustables so much. I can't go in that store. I go, let me grab a couple Uncrustables because they got grape and strawberry. I go, I'll do one of each. And they're great. They're really great. They hit the spot every time.
You know what I've learned about you in the last couple months?
Hit me.
You drive around a lot and you buy a lot of fast food.
Bro,
and like
my wife
7-Eleven shit.
My wife, I go like I'm going out for a bit.
I thought you had no time.
This is when I get things done.
I bet she's like, it's like this is how he like comes up with shit.
100%. 100%. I'll leave and come back like 2 hours later with like Uncrustables. And
meanwhile, you're paying $80 for a DoorDash order of wings and fries.
That's later.
I don't want to go out.
That's not how I sound.
It's kind of how you sound.
It's not exactly I'm saying.
No, it's not a pitch perfect impression.
I'll come back after like 2 hours with Uncrustables, and you know what my wife will. You know what my wife will say?
I made dinner.
She'll go like this. Did you get a lot done? And I go, yeah, because she knows that's where I'm coming. That's where I bring a little notebook. I'm texting you guys. If I'm hitting you like early in the morning on a Friday,
I know where you are.
Understand? I'm sitting in that Dunkin' Donuts, sipping on a coffee. I got all the ideas in the world. All of a sudden, it's all open to me,
and that's fine. But
and I
the
see
fact
it all.
that you're like, let me go to 7-Eleven real quick and get a couple Uncrustables.
Well, sometimes I'll be like, I'm out. Let me get a big gulp, and I go in there, and I go, while I'm here, better grab some Uncrustables. And then and then you know what I realize?
What's that?
Guess I just had lunch.
See, I had the issue at 7-Eleven. My issue is it's hard to go in there and not get some taquitos because they're like $5 for $5, and they're all different flavors, and they all taste the same.
They do all taste the same.
It all just tastes like fried old meat.
Yeah, if you go like, which flavor of taquito is this? The guy just looks at you like, what are you talking?
What do you mean flavor?
Like what? No, what are the ingredients in this? He's like, what?
It's fried.
Yeah, it's 7-Eleven, dude. It's on the heating roller. Like, huh? Yeah, I don't really fuck with the hot food at 7-Eleven. I'm going to be 100%.
It's fresh.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't really fuck with that hot food.
You never used to fuck with a 7-Eleven hot dog back in the day?
I mean, back in the day, but times have changed.
Oh, no, I haven't had it in a very long time, but that used to be...
Dude, they have hot wings at 7-Eleven.
I'm not
there
touching
for like
that.
8 hours.
I'm not touching the hot wings.
They have boneless wings. They have chicken tenders.
I'm not touching the pizza. I'm not touching the beef patties.
I have touched the pizza before.
It's just something about those taquitos.
The taquitos draw you
called
in
me, yeah.
like a siren.
Yeah.
I have touched the pizza before. It's very much, it's cafeteria pizza.
Yeah,
You know what
it feels to me like it would just be like the lowest form of frozen pizza.
Yeah, you're better off just grabbing a DiGiorno's, which they have at 7-Eleven.
You know what's funny is the 7-Elevens in Hong Kong, they actually have like really good food there.
The 7-Elevens in Japan,
That's
people rave about their like egg sandwiches.
That's I've read that there is a movement for 7-Eleven to go like we want to start making our places more like the places that we have in Japan or Hong Kong, I'm sure, because it's like a place that it's not like a shameful thing.
No.
Like if I was in a pinch and needed food and went in there and got hot food, I probably wouldn't tell you guys. You know what I mean?
It's a safe space.
I know, but you guys would look at me differently.
I just told you I get the taquitos.
You guys would
look
go,
at me differently?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like you guys would look at me and go, he's out of control, this Sam. I mean, we knew he liked the Uncrustables, but he's gone totally out of control.
It's funny that they don't take like an idea out of Wawa, like make a 7-Eleven into like a dope Wawa.
I mean, it'd be great. Trust me when I tell you. But there's a whole infrastructure that's required. Like they would need to build that kitchen island that they have.
Well, you have to start somewhere.
You do.
Yeah, that's why it's specifically Wawa's and Quick Checks. And then 7-Eleven is kind of like, the dirty stepchild.
I love 7-Eleven.
I love 7-Eleven too.
They got
but
big gulps.
all I hear are how amazing these egg sandwiches in Japan are.
Really?
Like no joke, this is the best food you're ever going to eat.
What is it? Just egg on white bread?
Yeah.
No crust.
Oof.
I don't think there's any crust.
That looks like the sandwich Napoleon Dynamite had to eat for his break from work.
Dude, I know it does not look appetizing.
It looks horrible.
But everybody says they're incredible.
Is there any flavor?
Probably egg.
I mean, eggs don't taste like anything.
Sure they do.
I mean, I guess.
What are you talking about?
Like you never had like an egg salad?
Yeah, egg salad tastes like egg salad.
I would never eat an egg salad.
That doesn't surprise me.
No.
It looks disgusting.
But you eat eggs.
Yeah.
I'll eat eggs.
And you eat bread.
You eat
I'll eat
potato
bread.
salad?
No, I don't eat any of those things.
You don't eat any mayonnaise based.
I don't like mayonnaise.
Right. That's
what,
going to be a
what-
problem.
What can I do?
Yeah.
What can I do?
Yeah.
You like what you like.
I'm stuck. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
there's-
you could
I mean, you're not
horizons.
stuck. You
I'm
can
totally
try.
stuck.
No, you could try it.
I'm totally stuck. There's no getting out of
You
it.
try to bacon, egg, and cheese. You love that.
Oh, fucking bacon, egg, and cheese are great.
You did your angry eater. Whatever.
Angry eater.
Whatever it was. I hated
I'm
that
so
thing.
hungry.
It was so funny. I started that thing going like, oh, this is going to be great. And by like episode 3, I was like, I've overcommitted. I hate this. I hate every bit of it. Because I didn't want any of the foods. I didn't have any desire to like any of the foods. I didn't want them.
Well, you need content.
Yeah. That's what I would.
But
That's
it was good. They were fun. It was fun watching you eat a Big Mac. Didn't
I was
you?
because I was in pain. I was tortured.
But it's not. Stop. How is eating?
Can you
food
imagine being
torture?
tortured by eating a Big Mac?
This is the life I live. Okay?
It's a shitty life.
But it's not torture.
Well, have empathy instead of judging me.
No.
I mean, you're a grown ass man.
Yeah.
Like,
have a
you should
Big
be
Mac.
eating other things.
No, why? Not like you. Tube steak.
Troy, you look great.
Thanks, buddy.
You know what tube steak is?
I know.
Tell him, Travis.
I don't want to.
Tell him.
He'll be offended.
Use the D word to tell him. Tell him.
It's a family program.
Tell him what it is.
What is it, Travis?
Penis.
Wait, so what is he implying? That I eat penis?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dick.
No, I don't, dude.
Okay. That's what I heard.
We should get some of these egg sandwiches.
I know.
Can we expense a trip to go to Japan?
Specifically for the egg sandwiches.
They also make ham and cucumber sandwiches, which I hear are also amazing.
Really?
That's an interesting combination.
I'm telling you, 7-Eleven in Japan is no joke.
Wow. They got Uncrustables?
I don't know, man.
Wouldn't it be great if we went all the way to Japan? I looked at these special sandwiches and I was like, you guys get those. I'm going to grab a couple Uncrustables. They got grape and strawberry. Okay, yeah, I'm going to grab these. You could at least try one with the different jelly. No, I don't think so. I think I'm going to go with the grape and the strawberry.
Not for me, dog.
Yeah, you guys enjoy those sandwiches, though. I tell you what. Tell me how they are. I'm interested. Tell me what you think of those, and we'll trade notes because I think I'm going to stick with the Uncrustables. Yeah, and I think you're right, Travis. I say to Tony and his golfing friend that Uncrustables are appropriate for any age.
Totally appropriate.
Especially when you're out on a golf course or something like that. They're kind of perfect. Dan on Long Island.
Hey, normally I call in and I crap on Travis. It's my favorite thing to do.
Same.
But, yeah, so I'm here to help you out today, Travis.
Nice.
So, let me help you wrap your brain around what Sam is. If you were on Jeopardy, the clue would be a 12-year-old with a driver's license and a credit card. And you would have to say, what is a Sam Roberts?
What is Sam Roberts?
That's who he is.
Yep.
That's not true.
That's true. No, that's true.
I have amazing life experiences.
That's true. You're like, ooh, I got my driver's license finally. I can go to get some Uncrustables.
That would be my first stop. I'm not kidding about that.
Have fun, boys.
All right, talk to you later. No, I mean,
Ooh, I got my driver's license. I can go get a Happy Meal.
if anything, I don't. No, not unless they have adult Happy Meals.
They do.
They did for Minecraft. Yeah, I got a couple of them. Well, it's fun. You go, you get Happy Meals for the kids. There's one for Dad. You know what I mean? Kids love it. It's a great time.
Yeah, but you like to go out without them.
I don't.
You dine in.
I'd have would I get an adult Happy Meal without kids?
Of course you would.
Yes,
you probably
you would.
have.
Of course, yeah, of course you have.
I don't think I have.
You'd go through the drive-thru so no one sees you.
Yeah, but then I'd be like, no doors, no problem. I'm like saying what's up, hello.
You didn't get adult Happy Meals when it was those toys that.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I ever walked out alone.
Yes.
With just the adult Happy Meal.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
You're not.
And can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
It's nothing to be ashamed about.
I mean, I can tell you right now. If
They're
I
marketed to adults.
If I did it, I wouldn't be ashamed.
No.
I can't think of anything that I would do that I would be ashamed of.
You have no guilty pleasures.
I don't believe in guilty pleasures.
You just have pleasures.
What's to feel guilty about? This is what I like. What, is it because fucking jerk off on Long Island is like, you're a kid. Well, okay. Good for you. Who do you think's enjoying themselves more? Me or that jerk off?
Sam.
Boom. Boom. And nothing that I've said that I've eaten, have you gone like, oh, that's disgusting?
No, I'm with you.
Right.
Everything you like to eat, I like to eat too.
Of course, everybody does.
But you could broaden your horizons.
Have a quarter pounder.
Why?
Why not?
You know what they call quarter pounders in France?
What?
Royale.
What do they call Whoppers?
They call them Whopper.
I I didn't go into Burger King.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't go into Burger King. Oh, okay, guys. We got to take a break because Edie Patterson is coming up. Of course, Edie Patterson, the iconic performer behind the role of Judy Gemstone on The Righteous Gemstones, which you can check out on HBO Max or the Max app or whatever.
Series finale this weekend.
Yes, we'll talk to Edie Patterson coming up next.
Greetings and citations, fine shits. Would you like a YN like me?
Oh, I'm good.
You're good?
We will be right back with Sam Roberts Show.
Edie Patterson is here, of course. Edie, the star of Righteous Gemstones, that is, I mean, unfortunately is an understatement, coming to an end after this season. Edie, I can't imagine that when you started this thing, you would realize that, like, Judy would be I mean, you knew it would be great, but Judy's an iconic character in television at this point.
Hey, thanks, man. Thank you. All I knew was I already loved her and just was ready to pour my whole heart and everything into her. And I'm glad that she's landed on people in a cool way.
Yeah. I mean, how much of it, because you're in the writer's room for the show too, yeah. So how much of you and then you kind of fill in the dialogue?
I would say it was very, very collaborative. I think initially all we knew was, Judy's the middle daughter. She's not quite being allowed to do the things that her brothers are being allowed to do. And we knew that, she kind of liked to do bad things. She was having her boyfriend stay over and was, frustrated that she wasn't getting the attention or respect that her brothers were getting. So we knew like the core of it. And then, I would say I had a lot of input. I think very quickly we kind of as a group started to realize like, oh, okay, maybe she's the wildest of all three. Maybe she's the most gangster of all three of them.
Yeah, I'd say gangster is the right word. Do you feel like at some point, I don't know, because I feel like you did it on Vice Principals as well, but at some point in your life as a performer, did you perfect the art of cursing? You just... because it's one thing to know all the words, but to know exactly where to place them and where, I mean, because I've never seen anything like it. It's so profane, yet so perfect at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope you're getting the vibe that it's like, I hope it's almost landing on you like, not the same, but almost like Deadwood, where you're like, well... they're saying fuck a lot, but it almost sounds like Shakespeare. It
is, and it's Shakespeare's comedy, right? Like Shakespeare. I mean, just like it's just like that, because it's the word that will catch you off guard for a sec. When Judy, like in the second episode, like when Judy first finds out that BJ is pole dancing. And she says she's being made slick. Like the slick, that word, as the descriptive right there is just that punch. You know what I mean? And like...
that kind of stuff, I do love to just stare. I love to just stare at my laptop and sort of whisper words to myself. I'm an improviser and come from an improviser background. I like to just like think and stare and sort of whisper things. And if I am whispering to myself and make myself laugh, I know that when I shoot that scene to Danny, it's probably going to make him laugh too. And yeah, that's what I like the most, is to find very weird specificity with how she's saying things. Because to me, that just makes everything more alive and more a real person. But yeah, I love figuring out how to say things a different way. I love it.
Yeah, because I feel like Danny does the same thing, where it becomes this thing
For sure. Masterful. I mean, he's the OG of it.
Yeah. Because it develops into a language of its own. Like the character is not cursing for shock value. The character is cursing because they think that this is how people interact. This is how people talk.
Yeah, this is just what you say. And I do believe that sometimes cursing is the right words in the right order to say. I read something, I don't know what this was, but I read something that it shows a higher intelligence when people sometimes curse. I'm like, I think I believe that. Because to try, like, if your whole life is trying to stay away from saying what might be the perfect word, like, what are you doing?
No, that's right. That's right. And it is, like, it is, and that's actually a great way to phrase it, because it does end up being the perfect word. Like that, and that's why it's there. It just happens to be that the perfect word gets said over and over and over again sometimes, but it still remains perfect.
Yeah, there's that.
Have there ever been times like where either you're writing or stuff keeps going on with the scene where you realize, like, okay, that's too absurd, or we've gone too far, let's dial it back to keep going? Or do you guys kind of just let it go?
I gotta say, that thing you're describing does not happen a lot. Probably for two reasons. Probably because the world we're in with the show and with the characters is so epic and so entitled and wealthy, and there's not a lot that can't happen. So usually it's worth a shot to, if we have some idea, of, say, if Danny goes, I think we should be on jetpacks. It doesn't land on any of us as like, we can't do that. That's too far, Right. Because the Gemstones would have jetpacks, and the Gemstones would have the most massive mansion you've ever seen on a lake. And I think when we've got a scene as written and then we're going to improvise a bit, I think even then it doesn't happen a lot that we go, oh, we've gone too far, because everyone involved is improvising from character. Nobody's trying to say jokes or do the game of like, say funny things, here's my joke. Everyone's just being themselves, and so it very rarely goes to a place where it's like, that was too much, Yeah,
it's also like, I think one of the things that makes your show so great, and also appealing to so many people, like, this is, I wouldn't think that I could tell my mother to watch a show like this, but it also might be, I think it's you and Danny for sure, because my mother also came to me once and said, that movie Pineapple Express, it's so funny. It's so, I'm like,
cool.
I'm like, where did this human being come from? But I think it's the fact that there is this like discipline about the story that's being told, where there's, that story per episode, but at the beginning of every season, you guys have done such a good job of setting up the arc of the full season and kind of introducing either where we're going or who the villain is, whether it's like Eric Roberts or it's the Eric Andre or whatever. Like, you come up with it so that you don't feel ever like you're just watching a bunch of slapstick. You go,
totally.
It's intentional, right? It feels like it's intentional, and we are moving. We are moving on a mission. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say even on top of that, the within the characters, it's very intentional. So it's never just like, oh boy, now we're gonna watch this person kind of toss about in the wind and try to be funny. It's always coming from a place of, I think with all of them, it's coming from a place of still figuring out how to deal with their mother having died. And so I think they've all got these weird, pretty deep wounds still inside of them and haven't learned to quite deal. And I think that helps. The depth of watching it is we're all coming from a place of kind of sadness and insecurity and heart that I think makes the funny stuff even funnier, hopefully.
Yeah, by the time you get to season 4, it's like we've watched these characters evolve into completely, like, it's kind of nuts that when you go back to season 1 now and rewatch, everybody is so different because of the journeys that they've been on through these, absolutely insane seasons.
Like running over people in parking lots and like
And by the way, that goes back to the language part of it, right? I will never forget the first time I heard Danny McBride say, I think I did a manslaughter back there. Saying a manslaughter is... I mean, nobody would have ever thought to have said that. It's the same thing as using that word slick. Like, you never would have thought to have said it. Once you hear it, it's like, of course this is how they would say it. And you'll never forget phrasing it that way. Did you, when you found out this was the last season, did you know going in that this was going to be the last season?
Didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't even know while we were writing it. There were vibes that were sort of in the mix while we were filming the 4th season that I think made all of us sort of savor and cherish the moment. But yeah, it was never a definitive thing. It was just we kind of never know type vibe, which was sort of every season. We didn't really ever know what was going to happen next. And I don't know, it felt a little more pronounced this time, and then it ended up that was the true thing. But I think probably Danny did the right thing by not getting it out there to those of us who are writing, and then when we started filming, because then we could just have those feelings creep up of like, this might be the last, and double down on it instead of being sad the whole season we're filming or something, you know?
Yeah. When you were getting towards the end, it got sad for all you guys?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. The last thing we filmed was a church lunch, and it was like a dam broke in Jason's Steakhouse. And just everyone trying to talk after and sort of like, you know, do a cheers for the season and the seasons. There were a lot of weird voices like this and wet faces, and it was brutal and beautiful.
What have you thought of while this season has been happening, with White Lotus happening at the same time? Walton Goggins, who obviously you've worked with on this, you've worked with on Vice Principals, and for me, I've known him, you know, he's been in stuff forever. Like, I remember him in House of a Thousand Corpses when that movie came out, but when he was like that, you know, just flowy, I'll say, character on Vice Principals that was like so far away from anything I'd ever seen. I said, this is the greatest to see now, like, while this is all happening, kind of the world realize this appreciation for Walton Goggins. What's that been like to observe as somebody who has worked with him?
It's so cool. Yeah. It's so cool. Because, I do have, like, a little bit of an inside track of going, oh, that now they're catching up? Whoa. We've known for a minute that this guy is, like, you know, something so different and so special. Like, full icon. Like, and it's a trip, and really awesome to see everyone go like, whoa, look what I discovered. He's incredible, and just a nice dude and a blast to work with, and I couldn't be more stoked for him. I hope everything blows up for him forever.
I'm also really hoping that people go like, oh man, what a great actor. Let me turn on Righteous Gemstones and see by episode 2, he's pants on the ground, full dick and balls. You know?
And by episode 4, you're floating underneath his balls. So good luck if you've discovered him on the Shield and then try to jump to Gemstones.
You know, there have been, I don't know who said it in what interview, but at some point, people started floating the idea that there could be like a live show, like a church revival live show that the Gemstones would do. Is this something you've actually talked about, or is this something you're just hearing now and going like, yeah, that would be amazing?
It is something we've talked about, and I have to say, to hear Danny say it out loud, I was like, okay, we can actively hope that this might happen. I think it would be so incredibly fun. I think about like the special guests we could have from city to city, and like my brain explodes. I'm like, oh, so if we're going near Nashville, Sturgill could come be in it, or like, oh, if we're up anywhere near New York, Jennifer Nettles could come be the ghost of Amy Lee, and like, I don't know. I'm probably the most excited of anyone. I don't know if it'll actually happen, but I deeply hope it does. I think it would be so fun. Yeah, travel around, do like a tent revival.
Oh
my god, dude!
It'd be amazing. It'd be
so fun.
People would find religion through the parody of religion in the show. Did you absolutely? Did you grow up? Were you religious growing up? Like, was any of this world familiar to you?
Yeah, but to a bunch of us who were writers on it, a bunch of us grew up in the church, but in different iterations. Like, I don't think anyone was full on mega church, and I definitely went to a very, very small Episcopal church. But we went every week, and I was part of the youth group. It's funny that when you look at like the differences between like mega church youth group and like a small church youth group, because our biggest deal was like once a year we would have a lock-in, and literally all it meant was like 8 of us would go spend the night in the church. Where like if you're in a youth group at a mega church, it's like you have your own live band, you're going on like giant adventures, you're probably going out of the country together. Like yeah, so I did grow up in that, but it was a very different thing. But I knew enough of the core things that then after researching, televangelism and megachurch stuff, I think for most of us was an easy blending. You go, oh, it's all the same core stuff, but you just make it a giant show.
Yeah. It is. And there's also that like, and I don't know, maybe I feel like with mega churches, this like level of commercialism comes in, and well, you know what I mean, the pomp and the circumstance and the commercialism, and it's like there is this like sell
totally prosperity gospel, and like give us all your money so that you can be like us,
right?
Which is like this strange snake that eats its own tail. But yeah, it was sort of into the sames, and then highlighting the different things, and then sort of going toward those, because it's such a funny, awesome aspect, and it just is. We're not ever like coming for belief or believers. It's just like this family who happens to be in this world, and this world they're in is crazy,
nuts. And I mean, it also I think it speaks beyond that. It goes to like, nepo babies and spoiled kids, and parents, because the greatest part is that like, for all intents and purposes, the mom and the dad are like theoretically great parents. They didn't do anything wrong. It's just they have these like stupid kids
who they gave everything to.
It's like the opposite of Succession, where like the dad won't give it to the kids, and the kids are probably qualified. In this one, all the dad wants to do is give the church to the kids, and none of them
be able to handle that.
Yeah, none of them can do it. None of them can do a thing. If you were gonna explain that, is there any, now that you can kind of look back on the show in its entirety, is there any thing that really stuck out that you got to do as Judy that you're like, that was an absolute fucking blast?
Oh man, wow. I love being her. Every single second was a blast. But yeah, of course there's some, I'm going to say a bunch right now. It's hard to pick one, but I'm going to say a bunch. Seriously, any time with the three of us was just like some other portal would open up, and we would discover all kinds of crazy stuff. Then from the jump, from the second we did something together, it was like, oh, weird. How lucky that we happened upon this. Because I do feel like those dudes are my brothers. And what a lucky thing. I really, really loved doing that scene in the Outback Steakhouse with Tim the first season. And I also loved writing that. When we knew we were going to when we knew we wanted Judy to have some sort of secret or some sort of messed up take on what her relationship history is, I wrote that monologue, and it just kept sort of moving places in the first season, and then we finally were like, oh right, it has to be in the finale, and it has to be told to BJ. And then later we figured out that it was in an Outback Steakhouse, which was very pleasing. But yeah, I loved doing that scene. I loved doing this scene in season 4 with Megan Mullally, where I'm trying to seduce her and make her leave. I love every time I get to sing as Judy. I love the whole process of like maybe even writing the song or helping write the song and then going to record it and then doing it on a stage. Yeah, I feel like a dick because I'm just going to keep listening.
No, that's great.
I love all of it.
That's great. And I also feel like you must, like, if you're really going to step into Judy's skin while you're playing her, it must give you like this overwhelming sense of confidence because she's maybe the most confident person on the whole show. Like, and she's not changing a thing. Like because she's so great. She's already figured it all out.
That's right. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to play and to play with, and I've liked in the past playing with that notion in characters that I've done at the Groundlings, and obviously like with Miss Abbott and Vice Principals. I love people who are more confident than they should be. I think it's really, really fun, and I love the cringe that comes with that. And so, yeah, it was awesome to just turn up the volume inside myself and just let Judy rip and just be fearless. I think she's fearless, and I think that's probably the core most fun thing.
That's such a great observation, because people that are more confident than they should be, like, by definition, should not be this confident, and it results in cringe. But at the same time, we all want to be more confident, so we kind of want to be like them.
Totally. And I think that's honestly the key to the show is just like, we mean it. No one's doing anything with them wink. We all mean it. We all love our characters so much. And yeah, hopefully you can cringe when Judy's being crazy, but you can also go like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can root for her at the same time and go, I hope she wins.
You do. Isn't that crazy? Like, they're the most unlikable people in the world, and somehow you get to this place where you're rooting for them.
You want to party with them.
Absolutely. I guess it's a credit to you guys writing it, like, because you do. You're like, these are horrible. You're the worst of the worst people, but they have to win. I need them to win.
Also, I think something in you knows watching it that like, oh, you know what? If I was their friend, they would have my back. They may be like running over people in parking lots and using money for like very weird things and taking other people's money, but they would not fuck me over.
Yeah, because they're not mean. They're like kind of dumb and ignorant about what's going on, but they're not mean. It's not malicious.
No, they're doing their best.
This has been Sam Roberts Show. If you missed anything or want to hear it all over again, check out Sam Roberts Show on the SXM app.
Welcome back. Sam Roberts Show. Chris DiStefano is here. Chris DiStefano, you know him from the History Hyenas, Chrissy Chaos. He's got It's Just Unfortunate on Hulu. And, of course, Madison Square Garden on New York's favorite date, September 11th.
It's what it is, baby.
Get them tickets.
Get them tickets. I appreciate being back here. I haven't been back in this building in a minute, and I always feel good because one thing I'm reminded of every time I step in this Sirius XM building is that black women like me. The black women who work in this building, the security guards, I got downstairs, I came in and I said, hey, I'm going up to Sirius XM. She was like, "Ooh, is that hair real?" And I said, "Yes, it is.
Yes, it is." As a matter of fact,
She was like, "You got that curl and everything, baby." And
you
I
do
was,
because you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's a very almost.
I said, "Yeah," and she was like, "Woo!" And I heard it. She went, "Ooh," like that, and I was like, "Nice, this is great." And then I get up here to this floor, and I'm walking to the security guard, and and the one girl, the white girl,
Nice.
says he has to sign in, and then the black security guard standing up, the lady, she goes, "You even make the pretty ones sign in?"
Whoa!
I said, "A woman downstairs said she liked my hand." She was like, "There ain't nothing to hate about it, baby." And I was like, "Nice," and I was just felt great.
Wow! And then you
Yeah.
come in here, and
Yeah.
Danielle, our intern,
Yeah,
walks
she-
in,
she
and she
doesn't
just
care
goes
about
like
me
this.
at all.
She goes like this. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, that's it.
She doesn't care. She's not talking to me about my hair, about how handsome I am. She doesn't care. She's just in her white world.
Right.
In her dumb white world.
Right.
You want to be in black people's world.
You do.
That's the world that I want to live in.
And is this new? Or
That's why I've moved to the Bronx.
You moved to the Bronx?
No. Close, Westchester.
Westchester's the best.
Do you live in Westchester?
Of course I do.
Dude, let me tell you something.
What's your
First of all,
address?
let's talk for a few minutes here about property taxes. Let's talk about how, because here's the thing. Any old guy that yells at me about moving to Westchester or Long Island and saying, "Your property taxes, you got to pay those property taxes."
Right.
Here's the thing.
Right.
I do. But you know what? At least I'm paying for taxes for my property and for my kids to go into a school district
right.
that I like, that I kind of have a say in, and everyone's around. Because when I'm living in New York City, I'm still paying taxes, by the way. You pay 4% more living in New York City than you would in Westchester, Long Island. So there's that right there, okay?
Whoa.
So you could suck my ass, H&R Block.
That's right.
I know that.
That's right. Take that to the bank.
Yeah, take that to the bank.
Yeah.
And then you're paying for taxes of a city of some of these things I haven't approved.
No.
Some of these things, like for example, I'm parked right out here right now, and I told Travis we're going to do a little test right now. We're going to do a little test because I'm paying 4% more taxes, still active New York City resident, to see. I'm paying for a police force. I'm paying for the rules to be enforced. That's what I'm paying for. Family safety. Now let's see. I'm parked outside this building in a commercial loading zone. And
you just went street parking for this morning.
I went street parking. I said I'm not paying for the garage anymore because every time I pay for the garage, it's $90, and if I get a ticket, it's $60. So I'll win. I'll save
Chrissy
money.
discounts.
But exactly, Chrissy discounts. I have to discount because I'm paying high property taxes.
Right.
So I do have to save money somewhere.
Sure.
So I said, if my car doesn't get towed or ticketed, 4% taxes, not worth it.
Right.
Getting out of New York City. But if they come and tow my car, I'll say, well, at least the money that I'm paying right now, being a New York City resident, at least you're enforcing the law. Because nobody's been enforcing the law lately, and that's why I'm out.
It is. It's a terrible place, this New York City.
Seriously, dude.
It's horrible.
I mean, Travis lives in Staten Island.
It's horrible.
Grimes Hill. That's where I used to live.
And he brags about it.
And where Travis lives is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Travis lives in an apartment complex where like all the wealthy people live. So it's a funny it's a funny thing to be like, ooh, Grimes Hill, and then you're like, yeah, I got a one Betty.
So you live in Westchester, but also have New York City residence.
Well, no, I've just recently put an offer in on a home that hasn't been accepted yet in Westchester. So I'm already saying that I live there, but the offer can get rejected, and I can also do what I've done the past 5 houses I put offers in on, walked out after the inspection. I've gotten an inspection, said I'm not doing this, and the inspector said the house is fine. Everything's great. I'm like, yeah, but now that I've been in it for an hour, I don't want it.
Right. So you walk out, it's just you're not feeling the vibe anymore.
The first 5 minutes, what I like to do is I like to walk through a house fast.
Right.
And I go, this is it, do it, book it, let's go, offer.
This is a good house.
And then my family's like, wait. I'm like, no, do it, let's go, we gotta go.
Sure.
And then I go back in, and she just Jasmine makes me sit there in the house, and then I start to realize, I don't want to live here at all.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's the house, or do you think it's you sitting still for an amount of time is always going to be a negative experience?
I think it's always going to be a negative experience. I think I always want to be in 10 places at once.
Okay.
And I think that I had a good life on Staten Island. I had a good mortgage rate. Shout out 2.8% mortgage rate.
Shout out to the 2.8.
Shout out to the 2.8ers. And I lived in Toad Hill, which is the equivalent of Grimes Hill. Toad Hill, Grimes Hill, versus very prestigious places on Staten Island.
That's nice.
I had a house there. I had a pool.
Whoa.
In-ground, motherfucker.
Wow.
Yes, I had an in-ground pool.
Mike Boschetti lives not far.
Mike Boschetti, yes. I used to see Mike Boschetti walking up and down trying to eat squirrels on Ocean Terrace. So
that's great.
I used to see him. And I had it made, man. And then I said to myself,
Right.
I said to myself this. I said, you know what? Things are too perfect. I'm sitting still too much.
Right.
Let's get a little chaos in here.
Chrissy Chaos.
Let's Chrissy Chaos. Sunday nights. We've changed the time. We've changed the time. Sunday nights, 8 o'clock. Now it's mostly stand-up based podcasts.
Well, I've seen the format. It's nuts. We'll talk about it.
It's a little different.
I like it a lot.
Views are down. Views are down. but that's okay. It's an adjustment period. That's okay. But listen.
Right.
So I said to myself,
right.
You know what?
Right.
You know what? There's not enough chaos, right? Things are good. I can easily make my mortgage payment here. Kids are in good schools. We got the pool. I need to move.
And the kids have friends.
Kids have friends. Everyone's set up for success now. We got to move.
We could, because now it's not just you. You could upend the children's life as well.
I said, listen, we got to get things moving. So I said to myself, I come home one day and I say to Jazz, I say, listen to me. I don't like living here anymore. She was like, what are you talking about? We just renovated the kitchen. And I was like, I understand that. But I can't walk to a bagel store. And she was like, but you can drive to one. I was like, yeah, but I need to walk to one for my creative flow. I need to walk to one.
Oh, for your creative flow.
That's what I said. I said, I feel like my career's stalling. She was like, you have Radio City sold out. I was doing the show like 3 days later. This is 3 days before I do Radio City.
And it was sold out.
Sold out. Completely sold out.
That's a huge, I mean, for somebody to sell out Radio City sold out once, and that's the best thing they ever did, well, that means they had a great career.
And I'm not bringing that up to brag. I'm bringing that up to because I'm going to get to there's a point to me saying that.
None of this felt like you were bragging.
Yes. Okay. I did. Look at this guy.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
This guy looks like Staten Island scum.
That's Mike.
So I bring that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because I had this is all happening in September of 2023. Now
Perfect.
September.
Oh, so you're fresh out the pandy, too.
Fresh out the pandy, Wendy, September 2023. Yeah. I have Radio City sold out on a Friday night. Very next night, theater at Madison Square Garden sold out Saturday night.
Right.
So this is a big New York moment for me, right? I'm a New York kid. This is like 10,000 tickets we have sold in a weekend. This is amazing.
In iconic venues.
Now, this is Wednesday. These shows are Friday, Saturday. Wednesday, I walk in and say, we're selling the house.
Perfect.
We're selling the house.
Perfect.
She was like, I don't think we should. I said, I need to walk to a bagel store. So she's like, all right, like, I don't know. So literally, I'm calling my real estate agent, who we had just bought the house from 18 months before that. I said, for sale sign, bring it over tomorrow. I want to get it going.
It's got a brand new kitchen.
She was like, didn't you guys just do the kitchen?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, property value just went up. She was like, that's true, but why do you want to move? I was like, are you going to put the house up for sale? Find the next person.
Yeah, am I going to have to explain the bagel store thing to you,
I was
too?
Like, I can't walk to a bagel store. You sold me a house. I can't walk to a bagel store. You're the asshole, not me. So,
are there good bagel stores in Staten Island?
Oh, yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just drive. How long is the drive? Would you say?
It was. I actually timed it because I will get to the point of the last 2 years of my life have been miserable.
No,
and my life has been turned upside down, and it's all obviously connected to these decisions that I made in 2023.
Interesting.
But the bagel store, and here's how good that bagel store was. Yeah. I've now driven multiple times from my house in Queens back to that bagel store in Staten Island because I missed the bagels, which is a 2-hour drive with traffic.
So good bagels.
Good bagels, though. That I was from my house on Staten Island to this bagel store that I loved. It was a 80-second drive.
Right.
80 seconds. 80 seconds. That's with traffic and stoplights. If I did it in the middle of the night, 30 seconds.
30 seconds drive.
So anyway, I do these shows, right? We sell the house. Okay, we moved from a 5-bedroom home with an in-ground pool on Staten Island to a 2-bedroom apartment in Queens.
Perfect.
The movers.
That's probably easy for the kids too. They're like, oh, this is how we're gonna live now.
Well, the kids. My oldest daughter thought it was like a weekend thing. She thought it was fun. Like she thought I was joking. Like she was like, oh, like she was telling her brother. She was like, Daddy's doing like a thing where we moved everything into this, and then we live here, and then we'll move back. Like she didn't understand. She was like, "This, we're going back to my old school in Staten Island." And I was like, "No, we're not. We're in a new school."
How old is she?
She's 9 now. She was 7 back then.
So at 7 years old, she was like, "Well, this is too absurd of a premise for an adult to do. Clearly, this is a joke."
She was like, "This is a bit. This is a bit. Like Dad's friends with comedians. Like this is a bit."
Right.
And so she. So anyway, so we moved to a 2-bedroom apartment.
Perfect.
Even the movers who moved us from our house on Staten Island to this apartment, the guy goes, "Did something mess up?" and I go, "Well, no. What do you mean?" He goes, "But you have that house. Why are you living here?" And I was like, "Oh, because we're renovating an apartment building across the street, which was true.
Okay.
We had bought an apartment building, a duplex apartment across the street. So it was a nice 4-bedroom, 2-floor apartment, because I said I got bagel stores everywhere. I can walk to the train.
You love bagels.
Love bagels. I can walk to the train. I'm living back in Queens where I was raised. I'm close to Citi Field. Okay, we can do everything we need to do.
Love the Mets.
Love the Mets. So I said we can do everything we need to do.
Right.
So, but the mover was like, oh, so you were moving, you got another apartment? So you moved from that house to that apartment? And I said, yeah. And then he goes to me, you trying to get a divorce? And I was like, no, it's going to be good. He was like, all right. So like, and then we left, and then literally we got it. And I'm trying to sell this. I'm like, this is going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And then we realized that I have 3 kids. So one of my stepson had his own room. Then my daughter and her little sister had the other room. And then I realized that the bed our bed wasn't going to fit in the 3rd room.
Sure.
So we had to have our bed in our living room. So we went from a 5-bedroom, fully renovated home to now our bed's in our living room. And then the number one thing that is not okay with my fiance, the number one thing that is not okay with her. She's from Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Okay, grew up in what she considers the hood, even though I respect Puerto Rican people. Shout out to EI. She calls it the hood. She's Puerto Rican. She cannot handle roaches. Can deal with mice all day. Roaches, it's a trigger from her childhood. She cannot handle it.
Okay, she grew up, yes.
The very first night.
Right.
I'm talking about night numero uno. Spanish-speaking audience.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to Sunset Park. Numero uno. We are sleeping on our bed in the living room.
No.
And a roach crawls across her forehead.
On the bed, on the forehead. Do you know the level of infestation that has to go on for a roach to be so brazen? They're like, well, I have to get from point A to point B. Let me just cross this forehead.
On the forehead. And I swear to God, she, in the middle of the night, screams. She goes, there's a roach on my head. And my 7-year-old daughter woke up. She goes, it's probably just one of Daddy's bits. Yeah,
like a prank roach.
Yeah, like a prank.
April Fool's.
Yeah, April Fool's. So within 24 hours, my life turned upside down. And then to make all
and
that,
whose fault was it?
I'm going to say the real estate agent on Staten Island. Yeah. So then in 24 hours, my life gets turned upside down. Now to make matters even worse, that all happened. We moved out on a Friday, right? Middle of the night, Friday night, roach crawls forehead. Because we've had to talk about this in therapy. Not forget, you've neglected.
Why would you have to go to therapy?
Okay, we're going to get to that. I neglected to tell Jasmine that at 8 o'clock that morning, when she's here in the roach-infested apartment now, from the beautiful 5-bedroom house with the bed in the living room, that I'm getting on a flight at 10 a.m. because I have shows in Vegas. I have a show at the Cosmopolitan in Vegas, and I won't be home till Tuesday.
And you had neglected to mention that?
I neglected to mention that. And so I'm getting up, I'm like, I got to go to the airport, and then Jasmine goes, now that better be one of your bits.
Oh, God.
And I said, hon, I forgot to tell you and that I have a show in Las Vegas. And she was like, well, you need to cancel it. And I was like, well, the thing is I can't cancel it because the money that we're making, I actually need to, because I actually sold the house for less than it was worth. I made a mistake.
You sold it. You did not make money on the house?
I did not make money. So I said, I kind of messed up here. So everything's going to be fine.
Buy high, sell low.
I just got to go to Vegas. I have to go to Vegas. And she's like, but the show is tonight, Saturday. Why are you coming home Tuesday? I said, because the hockey team, the Knights, the Vegas Knights, I said, they've asked me to stay an extra day because, they have like this wheel that they have people spin, and they're going to have me spin the wheel to start the show. It's like a big siren, and it gets the crowd going. And she was like, and you're going to stay an extra day to spin the wheel at a Vegas Knights game. Well, we're still in this roach-infested apartment, and the whole life got turned upside down. I was like, yeah, I got to spin the wheel.
I promised that I'll spin the wheel.
I promised I spin the wheel.
I gave my word.
I can't back out. And she goes, if you go and spin that wheel.
Oh, my God.
And on Vegas Nights, she goes, there's a 99% chance me and your children will not be here when you get back.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
know that.
We're gonna buy our house back for more money than we sold it for.
We won't be here. And she said, and so I got back. I didn't do it.
You didn't do the wheel?
I did not spin the wheel. Because what I did is I traded. I said, can I spin the wheel in 2 weeks? So I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Jasmine to Vegas in 2 weeks. As like a impromptu trip. Hey, I'm sorry, but then I'll spin the wheel. And whatever.
But now you're going back to Vegas on your own
Going
time?
back to Vegas. Well, what happened was, and then 2 weeks later, I got COVID, and I had to cancel the whole thing.
Okay, all right, perfect.
So we still haven't spun the wheel.
Okay, that's still something we're working on.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2023.
and my career's been going down. So now, so now I can't spin. Now I'm not even on the list.
It's not invited to spin the wheel.
Can't do it anymore.
No, you had a lot of buzz at that point.
Yes. So then I dealt with a woman for all of 2024, and I'm not making this up. This is 365 days in a row. I dealt with a woman who cried herself to sleep every night.
So a year for 365 nights.
And it was funny, on New Year's Eve of 2024, I said, you made it. You made it every night.
Every night
you cried. And she was like, yeah. So, and then we went through therapy, and the therapist actually...
When did you start therapy?
We started therapy, so I moved that house. We moved into the apartment September 28th. 2023, and we started therapy October 1st, 2023.
That's quick.
So 3 days later. We started that 3 days later. Okay. So what our therapist has told us is what happened here was that you displaced your anxiety. You didn't know you had so much anxiety about Radio City and Theater at MSG. That's why I brought it up.
Yes.
You had so much anxiety about these shows being perfect because you're a perfectionist, and we've worked on this. You literally couldn't put the anxiety on that situation. So what you did is you displaced it and you moved it on to selling a house. So now you're not thinking about Radio City and Theater MSG, which she was right. Right from going out in Radio City, I'm texting the real estate agent, do we got offers? and they're bringing me out. Right. And I'm like, we got offers.
So now you're not even thinking, because this moment is so big for you.
Yes.
Stand up is something that, I mean, as long, I've known you for
15 years.
Yeah. And this is all you've been working towards. Mm-hmm. It's happening.
Yep.
And not only is it you need it to go perfectly, but just the gravity of the moment that, holy shit, this is actually happening is so massive that instead of dealing with it, you upended your whole family and sold your house.
100%. That's why I did it.
Interesting.
And so now we've been, so we move out of that roach-infested apartment. And
why?
Because there was roaches on our foreheads.
Gotcha.
And then remember that little piece of the apartment that we had that I bought? Like that I bought the duplex that I bought?
Yeah,
that fell through too.
No.
Yes, that fell through too because they looked at my career and they said, we don't understand how you get money one month and then no money the next month. They said, I'm Christian Chaos, baby. It's being a comedian. I buy, sell, and move a shaker. And they're like, that's fine. So because this is a co-op, and we need to see proof of funds, so we need to know that your maintenance is going to be paid on time. So the only way we're going to let you move into this house is you have to give us, ready for this, buckle up.
Okay.
10 years of the maintenance money up front.
Yes. 10 years?
10 years.
That's how much they had no faith in you.
I said, do I get interest on that? It'd be in the market.
Very
I said,
smart.
nope. It's just going to be an escrow, and this is the money that we have, and you will not get it. I said, okay, so in other words, 10 years of the maintenance up front, fine.
Crazy.
It's a credit then. I'm not paying. You have the maintenance money. No. That's 10 years over here. You have to start paying the maintenance the first month.
So that we know, should anything happen,
we got 10 years on you. You'll only get that 10-year maintenance money back when you sell.
That's insane.
So I said, I guess we're not going to do it. And the co-op people go, I guess you're not.
Oh, they were putting that in
there.
Oh,
they didn't want me in there. So
that's the trap door.
So then we move into. So now we're currently living still